Finish him off! Finish him off!
He's calling for it!
This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up!
He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3!
Thank you! Thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion!
Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see?
He got him in a power slam! He got him in a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get to see knee deep. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport. The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
A little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Bam! Listen, it's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips are the biggest eyes in the WWE! Somebody stop this! Somebody stop the damn man! Enough's enough! What? The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Simmons got it real! Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality? No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
No, it's live, pal.
Let the slaughter begin! It is now time for
Wrestling
With reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
number one to be the man, baby! You have to beat the man! Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun. Have you ever heard a choke like that in your life?
You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Tongue
snack time into fun time. The great mouth-watering flavors in one convenient pack. Great taste and hard to resist. All natural flavored, mouth-watering. New great taste roll. The new champion curable flavor. Eat.
Yeah, man.
Take my glory when me creating myself and the Jesus.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. So I see none of my co-hosts are in the building, but that's okay. That can give me a chance to get some announcements out of the way. As you guys do know, we do have a debate tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. We'll have Brother Stacy Mobley taking on St. Louis, the Undisputed Truth TV, in a very interesting debate topic. Are there 204 books of scripture? I did have a conversation with the brothers late last week. We talked in the back, so we got all the particulars out. We are going to change the debate format just for this debate. So if everybody likes it, then we'll be doing that going forward. So shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to those of you that are watching live. Please make sure and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We will get the show started real soon. Venkat did let me know that he won't be in. We do have a packed. He'll be here, but he'll be here late. We have a packed show tonight. I have a lot of news items that we got to get to. So hopefully my co-hosts will hurry up and get here so we can get the show started, because just like Man Talk Monday, we were able to keep that show under 2 hours. So the Man Talk Monday show itself was 2 hours. The extra 30-40 minutes was my stream messing up and me giving the announcements. And I like to keep all our shows that way going forward. Ricardo, this is my Macho Man Randy Savage shirt. Thank you for noticing. So all of y'all that's in the chat, I see you guys watching in the clouds. Y'all make sure and please hit that like, share, and subscribe button for your boy. As you saw, we played a commercial at the beginning of the show after the Wrestling with Reality intro. That was a commercial for Mike's friend for the restaurant that he plugged Monday. For Mike, I'll let it go. I'll let it ride for free because it's Mike. Mike is a big contributor over on this channel, and I'll let it ride for free with Mike. But anybody else, if you want anything advertised over here, unless you're like somebody like Aquila or Ricardo or something like that, it's going to cost you just a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean like literally probably just hit us off with a super chat or something right now. Because once the channel grows huge, as it is going to, then you're going to have to start paying some ad rev. But right now, I give you the family discount. I give you the Straight Talk Society discount. Hell, you give us $10, we'll run your ad, we'll run your ad through one of our shows. This is one of the more popular shows on the channel, so we will run it through this one or whichever one you want to run it through. You want to run it through the Bible show. I will not promote anything though. I mean, like Mike's friend is promoting a restaurant, so that's fine. But if you shout out to MD, the link is in the chat. If you wanna try to promote some foolishness, I'm not with that. But anything you want to promote, man, just hit me up, man. We're all a family over here. I will promote your stuff for you as long as it's nothing crazy. All I ask you, just drop us a super chat or something. Just help towards the cost of running the channel. Like I said, I don't know the fella personally, but it's one of Mike's peeps, so it's all good with me. Let me put the link back in the chat. Oh, there's Venkat. Yeah, because I'm about to say, man, I got a lot of news to get through, and I'm about to get started if you don't hurry up and get up here. So shout out to the
Hey man, I got a lot of news to get through.
Uh-oh. Somebody got two screens playing in the background.
What's going on, Trevor?
Shout out to producer extraordinaire Venkat. What's up, Venkat?
All right, what's going on? Sorry, I'm late. I was finishing up something here.
Got to add MD to the stream. What's up, MD? Unmute yourself. All right, he's probably.
Can you hear me? My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was muted. My bad.
Shout out to the Radical Republican MD. One day I'm gonna jump on that Tape Fist Politics show and bust him up across his head because I just feel I just
Don't do it.
Mike made the comment. Mike was like, "Man, we don't argue on this show. You know why you don't argue on the show? Because y'all only like to argue with me. That's why."
That's a conspiracy theory.
None of y'all believe half the stuff y'all be talking about. But if I was up there and did some opposition, then everybody in the world was going to try to argue with me. But nevertheless, we do have a packed show to get to tonight. And I do want to keep it in line of Man Talk Monday and Tape Fist Politics and keep this thing to at that nice sweet spot of 2 hours. So Ricardo's saying that's not true. That's absolutely true, Ricardo. If it was me, y'all would be arguing like crazy. So let's get to the first story tonight. Y'all know I love it. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the show is to talk about the ratings. But this week, we're going to go over more than just AEW Collision. So real quick, the 920, not the 920, today's 920. So according to Sports TV ratings, the AEW Collision from September 16th drew 467,000 viewers. The number is slightly down for the 476,000 viewers the show drew on September 9th. So that's the post CM Punk show. Saturday show posted a 0.15 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is the same rating the show scored last Saturday. And this comes from Fightful.com. And it must be noted that Saturday's AEW Collision was up against various college football games, including a matchup like Texas and Wyoming, Oregon, Hawaii, and that Tennessee and Florida game. Last Saturday's show faced competition from this Texas and Alabama college football game. So real quick on the AEW number, we see that it's right at that sweet spot. So can we on this panel now just put it to bed that CM Punk wasn't a draw?
I ain't gonna say that now.
Well, MD,
but I mean,
MD, the numbers have not moved.
I get that, but again, we always, even with CM Punk, we always knew it was gonna be around 400-500. That was, I mean, that's just TV. I'm not necessarily gonna say he's not a draw because we're talking about it in the sense of the gate. We saw what that gate was for Dynamite. The gate is going to drop. TV wise, you're not going to see much of a big difference because it's TV. So I ain't going to say he ain't a draw, but we all knew this Saturday was going to be in that sweet spot, like you said, 4 to 5.
So, Venkat, what do you think about that number? It's been hovering around a little under 500,000. So, more specifically, what I'm getting at is when the Punk announcement, and it just shows you that AEW's competition is not sports. AEW's competition is WWE, because even against 5 football games, they were still able to keep that 400,000 number versus when they went against Payback, they got slaughtered at 300,000.
That's a good point. I can't disagree with what you just said there. I also kind of agree with MD as well, but I would say if he's like not, CM Punk is not a complete failure of a draw, because in the beginning, when he first debuted and he was doing that MJF stuff, that was, the numbers were showing for Dynamite back then, and that was big stuff. But I think maybe CM Punk may have rubbed people such the wrong way last year with that scrum thing, and people probably just felt like me, or at least not as much like me, but somewhat like me, that they're just tired of his jump, man. Plus, he's an older wrestler anyway. You can't walk around here like you're the darling, and you're kind of old and you have a bunch of baggage on you as well. So,
well, we'll get to that later. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So I agree with MD. I agree with what you're saying too. I think both of you are right there, but I think it was good earlier, and then I think he screwed his own self over with his own actions.
So I put in the chat, that show needs a star. I watched Collision Saturday, and it was an absolute bore. And that was with a Bryan Danielson opening match. Like, the match was a bore. The main event was Britt Baker against, whose name is Chris Statlander, I think.
Why is Bryan Danielson opening a match?
I guess because they wanted the retention. They wanted the retention. That's all I could say. And I want to say he lost the match too. Yeah, it was him and Claudio.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
him and Claudio against that kid. What's his name? Garcia.
Yeah.
And I forget who his partner was, but they ended up winning that match. But I just think the show was just a bore. Even the Revival match wasn't good, and the Revival wrestled this, like, my favorite team on AEW besides the Revival. I forget their names, but it's just these two generic big guys that wear black. And they just wrestle like the Road Warriors or Demolition. I just love that team.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you're saying it's a bore, but the numbers didn't really change. We won't really know the impact really until like a month or so off. And we got to really see where the trend lays, but we'll see. I mean, I hope, because there was an article I was looking at. They were talking about AEW has a big problem. They need to start drawing an audience here, and I don't know. I mean, if they continue to not be able to get eyeballs on them where it matters, what does that mean for their future?
Yeah, I mean, but we're in that 4-year market window that you were talking about. So speaking of going off a cliff, because I said we got a lot of ratings to get to tonight. WWE, this is from the Wrestling Observer. WWE Raw viewership hits new record low. The 18-49 demo rating rises. Raw went up against two different NFL games on Monday night. The result was that Raw did the lowest total viewership the show has ever done.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. So you're saying, like, because you said this last week too.
And they're getting worse.
Wait a minute. Is that serious? That's real?
Yes. You think I'm not just repeating the same news from last week?
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, maybe you're saying from the last week's news.
This
oh my
week,
goodness!
This week they went up against two NFL games, and they got slaughtered. So the result was that Raw did the lowest total viewership the show has ever done for a regular episode in its history, and we're talking about since 1993, folks. So this isn't like we're talking about a 10-year period, but still has substantial increase in the 18-49 demo, and particularly in the 18-34. So that's kind of weird there, because what they're saying is that they dropped in their 50. Historically, the 50-year-old mark is what watches Raw, but that number was down. So that's pretty interesting that number will be down, and the 18-34 and 18-49 would be up. So Raw averaged 1.33 million viewers with a 0.44 rating in the 18-49. It was down 2% in viewers from last week, but up 9% in the 18-49 and up 22% in the 18-34. The real growth was men's 18-34, which would be a number attributed to the curiosity following Johnson's appearance as much as anything else, and we'll get to that later. Hour 3, which had the main event of Drew and Jey Uso, hit another all-time low. But the match itself did pick up at the end. So from last year, Raw was down 50. So this number compared to last year was down 15% in viewers against the NFL. So there's a constant decline, but the company is making more money than ever. So like
that's a crazy reality right
so
there.
We look at these ratings, and there's a question. That's why I want to hurry up and get through these news, because there's two particular conversations I want to have with y'all tonight And we are going to do a quick sidebar because the sidebars are so fun. I got an interesting sidebar question for MD. So yeah, Raw is getting slaughtered. So speaking of ratings, we got another ratings. Big Time Bex proves to be a rating draw. NXT ratings, Tuesday nights NXT. That's when she beat Tiffany Stratton. Average 850,000 viewers. That's AEW Dynamite numbers. Which when you think of it, 850,000 viewers, that's not that far away from what Raw did. So just think about that. It was up 26% from the last week. It's the 7th highest audience total in the history of the show and the best viewership since October 28th, 2020. So NXT drew a 0.26 rating in the 18 to 49 demo. That's up 44% from last week. Let me tell you what I'm gonna attribute that to. That week ties the best rating the show has ever done in the category since December 18, 2019. It's the 6th highest rating in the history of the show. 3 of the weeks that drew a higher rating were the first 3 weeks that NXT aired on USA Network. And this was the episode headlined by Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton. When I said last week that it absolutely was a ratings ploy, it absolutely was. And look at the number that went up 44%. In the 18 to 49 demo, it went up 44%. Can anybody tell me why?
I have no idea, man.
Because you had a main event of two women.
I can't accept that.
In the 18 to 49 demo, you have Tiffany Stratton. Have you seen what Tiffany Stratton looks like?
That means nothing to me. That means absolutely nothing. I don't watch wrestling for that.
You fall in the 18 to 49, and some men think that Becky Lynch looks good. I don't particularly think so, but
I don't think so either.
Me neither.
I think that had a shout out to Nirabon. I think that had a lot to do with it. Is that you put those 2 women, and I'm not gonna sit here and crap on them because the match was really good. I'm not even gonna front like it wasn't good. And they're about to have an Extreme Rules match at the next pay-per-view. So I expect that to be really, really good. But
Extreme Rules is the next pay-per-view?
No, well, NXT is doing their own. NXT uses all the good names. So I think NXT has like No Mercy coming up, and they're gonna have those 2 are gonna have like an Extreme Rules match.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Extreme Rules, the event.
No, the next pay-per-view we got is I think Fastlane, right?
Fastlane, yeah, Fastlane.
Yeah, Fastlane, yeah.
The lamest names of all time.
But so y'all don't attribute that 18 to 49 going up 44% to anything else but because it was 2 women in there?
It can't be. It just doesn't make sense to me.
MD, come on, MD.
I mean, I get your point. I mean, again, acquired taste, I guess. You know what I mean? Or we may be in the minority. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But
who do they market Tiffany Stratton to?
Barbie, right?
Exactly. And what do young adolescent males like? That type of woman that looks like that, correct?
I don't think that's going to carry a high rating like that because of that. You may have a few, but I don't think that.
So then you got to say that Becky Lynch is. You know how we're going to tell? We'll see the rating for next week because Becky was on the show. On the show last night.
Well, my question is, was it known?
Look what Nerabomb says. Look, Nerabomb, you got it. Exactly. I'm telling you, Tiffany Stratton has a look that is, Tiffany Stratton is better version of Charlotte Flair in the look department. And that's what because Charlotte Flair doesn't have any sex appeal. Tiffany Stratton does. And that's what they market. Come on, sex sells everything. And everybody knows it.
All I know is
I could put a pair of tits on a pair of tires and you would buy it, even though you knew it wasn't no good.
All I know is I'd rather see a Charlotte Flair match over some goofball that just has a look and can't do that.
Have you ever watched Tiffany Stratton?
Nope.
Exactly.
She pretty good. Like I ain't gonna front.
Because
Yeah.
him saying that, I could tell he never. I could tell
Nope.
he hadn't seen anything from her.
Nope.
She is going to be their next Charlotte, but I'm curious to know next week. Okay, so we'll see how the ratings go next week, and if the ratings decline, then what I'm saying got a lot of validity to it.
Okay? So do they have do the fans know going into it on TV and in the arenas that she was going to be there, or that particular match was going to happen?
Oh yeah, it was been announced
because
for like
a lot of times you watch Monday Night Raw or whatever show you're watching, and matches just show up. You don't know what the hell you're getting yourself in.
NXT is planned in advance. NXT announces matches before they go off the air, and you have to realize NXT core audience is the same audience that's there every week. There's only 200 people in the building.
Okay.
Those are people that live around Full Sail or wherever the hell they are.
Well, that's why they're so passionate about it.
See, I'm telling you, look what Nerobom's saying. You think that I'm telling you, there's a lot of validity to what I'm saying. They are marketing Tiffany Stratton. Like if you watch her promos, she calls herself, what does she call herself? Like the super athlete or something. Because her springboard moonsault, she calls it the most beautiful moonsault in the world, is just that. She hits a springboard moonsault and she actually hits it. Io Shirai misses you by a mile. Tiffany Stratton hits it. And she's I'm telling you, I guess
I'm gonna have to do some homework on this lady here.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I would go as far as to say that NXT do a better job at character development with the women's division than like the main roster.
Absolutely.
The stuff they're doing with Thea Hale and I mean, I would concede to that. Yeah. Is it my cup of tea? Not necessarily, but I can see what I can see where the appeal could be.
Hale. Yeah, they're making Thea Hale very interesting. I like that. Even The Rock's daughter, they're making her very interesting. So the last rating we're going to get to before we get into the rest of the news on the ratings are in for the latest edition of SmackDown. The show averaged 2.5 million viewers on Fox, which is up from the 2.09. So they went up 500,000 views, according to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. In the all-important 18 to 49 demo, the show did a 0.70 rating, up from the 0.53 rating a week ago. This was the highest total viewership in key demo ratings since July 7th, 2023. So we know what made that number jump. So we'll get to that because it's going to lead into the next sidebar and everything. So just remember, SmackDown was up 2.5 to 2.5 million, which is crazy that SmackDown has to be the flagship show of the company now, right? Because for years it was Raw. Like Raw is Vince McMahon's show. That's his show that he put everything into. That's the show that he only cared about those ratings. But SmackDown is damn near doubling them up every week now.
To me, SmackDown been the flagship show for a minute.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Hell, since the Ruthless Aggression era, they've been the flagship show to me.
The SmackDown 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't watch and I rarely watch Raw. I mean, like we finished the show so early on Monday. Shout out to everybody keeping to the time. I was able to watch Raw. I didn't watch the whole thing, but we got through a nice chunk of Raw. And to me, Raw is just so damn boring. I mean, like you got your points. Nia Jax is just wrecking chicks. I don't know, man. Bro, I think everybody that she wrecked on Monday was hurt. Chelsea Green, when her and Piper Niven start throwing blows in the back, I'm telling you, I start lighting up with joy because I was getting my big beefy son of a bitch match and they were going at it outside. I was like, oh my goodness. Shout out to this beautiful queen that's saying that the host is looking good. I appreciate that. But so man, Nia Jax was just wrecking chicks, man. She hit Rhea. Like, yeah, she on another level, man. Reckless is all outdoors. She even beat up Shayna.
But I think that's the plan, though. I think Vince told her, "Hey, look, you got a reputation. Just flourish in it." I think that's what they're doing. Like to be, I'm being totally honest.
Damn, if you hurt half the roster, right?
It's Vince at the end of the day, ain't it? I think he telling the women's division, "Hey, look, this is what we're doing with Nia. Expect to be potato." You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is.
And shout out to St. Louis in the chat. Again, St. Louis does have a debate over here tomorrow night at 6:30 against Stacey Mobley. Mike, I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, but I did run your ad. I'll probably run it again one more time, but probably two more times before we end. But that was a nice ad. So let's get to everybody's favorite wrestler. And like I said, we got a bunch of news stories, so I just want to run through them. Everybody's boy, Mr. Phil. Real quick, the report, and this comes from Wrestling Observer. CM Punk does not plan to sue AEW's Tony Khan. Punk is reportedly looking to avoid litigation and move on with his life. According to a new report, CM Punk has no plans to sue Tony Khan following his termination from AEW. House of Wrestling is reporting that Punk does not currently have litigation pending against the AEW president and is not considering doing so in the future. Nick Hausman, who is his buddy, so he would give him this exclusive. From what I gather, Punk is looking to avoid any further litigation and move on with his life. He was described to me as someone breathing a sigh of relief now that he is away from the day-to-day drama that seemed to follow him at AEW. It is not clear if Khan or AEW are planning legal action against Punk, but the situation is said to be quiet on both sides. Regarding the potential of Punk returning to WWE, Hausman is reporting that multiple WWE sources view the two sides working together again as a possibility. However, with WWE hot right now, the company is not in need of a big name signing. So remember I said after this happened, I mentioned that they should sue CM Punk. And I think that's where this is coming from.
Wait. You said
I said Tony Khan should have sued CM Punk.
No, I get that. I remember you saying that, but when you just said this news article, you were saying that CM Punk is not thinking about suing.
He's not, because there was rumor that he may want to file suit on them for wrongful termination.
How?
Hey, I just report the news. I
mean, as you were saying it, I'm like, I'm dying here. Like, what is going on? This makes no sense. It's like slapping somebody and then you sue them because their face hurt their hand. It makes no sense. Like, wow.
When we did that show, I said that Tony Khan should sue CM Punk because he ruined all their storylines. He literally
and I agree with that. I agree with that.
4 storylines against the Elite, this young kid Ricky Starks, the Real World's champion that he could have had with MJF down the line, and whatever he was doing with the Revival.
He potentially killed about 3 years worth of big time business that they could have had. Matter of fact, the bloodline been going on for 3 years, but this could have been, first of all, it's based in reality. So there was a lot more potential there, and he just screwed everything up because he's so weak-minded.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that Tony Khan should sue him. Like, he literally, I didn't say I think I said I wonder if he can sue him. That's what I said, because I mean, he fired him at the end of the day, so that would be kind of shitty if he then turned around and sued him. But, I've seen worse. So moving right along in the news, we're almost done. Oh, boy. Y'all know how this made me feel. When I saw this, I was just like, oh, man. Because I've been the guy on the show saying that I hope Jade Cargill shows up and beats Bianca Belair's ass, only because it would ignite something under Bianca. So this comes from CageSideSeats.com. Since the first spoilers about her TBS title match on Rampage hit hit last Thursday morning, signs have continued to point toward Jade Cargill's exit in AEW in favor of signing with WWE. So what happened? They basically rushed an angle back. They rushed Jade Cargill back to Collision. She ended up having the match with I think she had the match on Rampage. That's a Friday night show, right? Yeah, against Chris Statlander, where she lost. I would have never took that move from Statlander also, because I think Statlander hit her would look like a damn Michinoku driver, and her head was really low. And then at the end, the shocking part though is that Jade hugged her, which basically broke character. So that was her Madison Square Garden swan song. So the report goes on at this point. We're just waiting for Cargill to debut on NXT, although that reportedly won't happen this week. So Becky Lynch on Monday was calling out somebody to wrestle, and I thought that Jade was going to come out, but no, lo and behold, we got Natalya Neidhart. So on the latest episode of Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer said that Cargill will get a big push from WWE when she is signed. No shit. That seems to be at least partly because of what the company will be paying the 31-year-old who got a much better starting deal than a normal person would. This is very important. So her deal is not a standard NXT deal. It's not like it's Charlotte Flair money or anything like that, or Becky Lynch. Before a newcomer to the company is much higher than they usually go. So she's got a good deal. Meltzer said WWE is already working on creative for Cargill. While he doesn't think she may have a brief run in NXT, he believes the plans being discussed are for the main roster, as WWE has to justify the money. She's getting paid like a lot more than anybody else. So meanwhile, PW Insider reports that Jade was at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. This happened on September 18th, but there are no plans for her to debut on tomorrow's NXT, which was last night. A source later told them Cargill already flew back to Atlanta. Whatever that means for her WWE future, AEW has taken a step toward a future without the wrestler they presented as unbelievable for the most of their history. Cargill has been removed from their website roster page. Jade Cargill to WWE. I have been calling for it since we've been doing this show. What do you guys think? And how long? And two-part question: how long does she stay in NXT?
Well, I'll say one thing. I just want to say real quick. So if she's getting paid more money, there's going to be some locker room resentment.
Doesn't matter. She's a superstar.
Well, it kind of matters because somebody might want to hurt her or do something. You never know. Something can happen.
You see people get jealous. Women on the roster.
I'm just saying. When things get a little real, it doesn't matter what the size is. But I mean, you were saying now the questions that you were saying now about her.
How long does she stay in NXT? Okay, this real me, and
she needs a lot of work, don't she?
Well, that's what I was getting at, because as much as I love her look. She has a fantastic look. Her character is fantastic. She's a terrible wrestler. And WWE has like really good women talent. I mean, you got Bayley, you got Io, you got Asuka, you got Candice LeRae, you got Piper Niven, you got Rhea, you got Charlotte. Those women really could wrestle. This isn't the AEW's women division, which for the most part is shit. Like, she's going to really have to go in there and put on a hell of a match. So I think because this is September, I'd like to see her debut at the Royal Rumble, but I don't know how much work she could get in before then, but she shouldn't spend more than 6 months in NXT. She should. Who's the NXT champion right now? Becky Lynch. So she shouldn't spend more than 6 months in NXT.
My honest opinion, I don't think she should be in NXT at all. Let her work at the PC for as long as she need to get her ready for the Royal Rumble or whenever. That's my. Jade Cargill is too big of a star to be in NXT. I'm sorry.
Thank you, MD. Me and you already.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you, but MD, AEW again, and I'm all elite. You see the name. AEW they don't work camera angles like WWE. So I think that's why they send them to NXT, so they could learn how to work the camera. They get out of that indie style of doing things. I think I would have loved for her to come up Monday and be the one to just wreck Becky. Like she should, or what would be good is when Becky beats Tiffany Stratton at the next pay-per-view, that Jade shows up and just wrecks her. I mean, just wrecks the hell out of her. Like, this woman is a star. This is a star.
I get your point. Like I said, me personally, I'm not. She's too big of a draw to be in NXT. That's just my opinion. I think you should take her to the side in the PC, and she should have her own individual training going on at the Performance Center to get her ready for what she need to do. You know, I say the Royal Rumble. That's going to be the AJ Styles moment. Put her in the Rumble, and the crowd going to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then take it from there.
Couldn't WWE do kind of like both things? They could have her show up on Raw as soon as possible, and then attack whoever she needs to attack, and then she could still go to NXT. They could do both.
That make a lot of sense too. Have her, I mean, because it's not like, but bro,
the attack is just to plant the seed that something big is coming. Kind of like what they did with Bianca having the title, and then Rhea also had her title, and they just showed up on Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But they haven't crossed paths since. You know, it's one of those plant the seed moments.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves though. She can't spend more than 6 months on NXT. And literally, because first of all, she's 31. Bianca Belair was 31 when she started, and they kept her down at NXT too long. But I mean, she's gone on to be a massive superstar, but you know, they lucked up with that one.
But Bianca Belair is a PC product though. Like, she a product of the Performance Center. So that's a different scenario in my opinion.
But you bring up PC product. This is the first AEW homegrown talent to defect to WWE. You can't, and this is their biggest star on top of that. So this is their first homegrown talent. And notice I said homegrown. So anybody going to be like Cody Rhodes? Cody wasn't homegrown. This is their first homegrown talent. She had a tryout with WWE a few years ago and she declined the offer. This is AEW's homegrown talent that defected to WWE. Normally you see it go the other way. But what does this say about Tony not being able to keep her?
I think she's seen them dollars. It's something going on behind the scene. Like I said, we don't know what the number is, but they gave her a pretty penny. I'm pretty sure. And they're not going to have that big of an investment down in NXT for a considerable amount of time. It ain't happening at all. MD, that's how I'm looking at it.
MD, wouldn't it just because the money is good. But bro, like, this is their biggest star, man. Like, you can't, when she was off TV, you could see the numbers dipped. Like, you can't. I tell you, Tony Khan is a terrible. He needs somebody to take over everyday control for him. And St. Louis, I didn't get to it, but yeah, Randy Orton was spotted at the PC. They didn't necessarily say what he was doing there, if he was working out or anything, but who knows? Because I'd love to see another run from the Viper, you know, first that he's okay more than anything. But man, Jade Cargill, and who was it? Brian Pillman Jr. was at the PC not too long ago. Now you're starting to see these other guys, these homegrown talents. Now it's not just the big names like your Cody and stuff like that coming over. It's the homegrown, and I just see it this way. As much as everybody wants to say they're the best thing in the world, AEW is popular outside of the United States. And these people want to be on the biggest platform that you can be. And her being on the stage at WrestleMania is bigger than anything Tony could do in the United States. Absolutely. And that's absolutely, you can't deny it.
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. Like she need to be on TV as soon as possible. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, at the end of the day, everybody act like, I mean, hell yeah, we know Vince McMahon, and there is a story breaking on Vince McMahon, but because I don't have all the detail on it, I'm not going to speculate on it, but we will touch on it next week once I have more information on it. But everybody loves to talk crap about Vince McMahon, but the bottom line is he owns the biggest platform. It's a reason, and I'm not going to call no name, MD, but you know there's a certain community here on YouTube that begins with a K. You know what the community is. And it doesn't matter what debate league you come out of, what circuit you come out of, everybody tries to get on that platform. Not necessarily that they like the person that runs the platform, but that person has the biggest platform. So everybody just wants to be seen on the biggest platform. It ain't no different from what we do over here. Like everybody just wants to, they always looking for the next come up. And at 31 years old, she has the time. This is her time that she can make the most money that she's ever going to make, because now we're not talking about Vince McMahon. We're talking about TKO now. Now she's making that TKO money. And they are going to pay her whatever she wants. Obviously, it's good enough, because there was a report where she said that she would rather work for AEW because you don't. She feels like at WWE you're just coming out of the cookie factory. Well, that changed really quick, because depending on whatever dollar number they threw at her, now she's into the cookie factory. But her look is just too. When I first heard about her, I never knew anything about her. Somebody said, hey man, look up this Jade Cargill person. And when I looked at her, I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, and I don't even like that, like muscles on a woman like that. But it's something about her, like she literally looks like a superhero. If you put her and Bianca Belair next to each other, you're like, man, I could draw money with them for a year straight.
A superhero that's defending the world against Lil Bow Wow.
Damn.
we need a, y'all talk about me. We need a sound for Venkat.
But to that point, Venkat, she was able to transcend her popularity from wrestling onto the, I guess you would say, black social media. Like, she one of the top people in black social media. You, like I said, Bianca Belair, she up there too. But as far as just like I don't know what you call it. I guess you could say homemade popularity. Jade supersedes Bianca like leaps and bounds. Bianca is popular now. Don't get it twisted.
About that. I don't know about that. MD.
Trevor,
don't do it to yourself, MD.
You can go. Man, listen. Jade is all over these skits, these social media skits. She do the rounds on all the radio shows, bro. Jade is
Bianca and Montez getting their own TV show, right?
Bro, but that's corporate push though. I'm talking about homemade on let Negro YouTube, Negro Twitter, Negro Instagram. Jade is all over the place. You know it and I know it.
I won't dispute that.
That's corporate stuff. And like I said, look like Montez and Bianca, they all over the place too. But it's a corporate mindset. Hell, they were just at the TKO thing. Why they were there, I don't know. But they were the talent that they decided to use in that particular PR gimmick, which was the TKO merger. They just use. I don't know why they used them, but they do. Bianca get a lot of corporate media attention. I'm not saying that she don't. Jade gets homegrown, homemade push through social media.
Who looks
That's all.
Better? Come on, MD. Nah, don't fall off now. He must have got a call.
No, I'm here. My bad. I got a call. My bad. Yeah.
Who looks better?
Bianca.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You ain't gotta say. But
I ain't dispute that.
But
Bianca gorgeous, man. Like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah. I think
it's something about Jade, man.
I think she's the finest woman in wrestling. But the thing about but Jade, again, with all these muscles and stuff, which is an absolute turn off for me, but she just has this look and charisma about her that you're just like, holy crap. Like this woman is that. Like, she could play any superhero character and you wouldn't mind seeing her kicking anybody's ass. Like, man, think of it. You ever thought we'd live in a world where you're gonna literally have two black women drawing a metric ton of money in a program working with each other? Because they gotta match them up at some point. And I would do it in like a whole superhero concept.
Well, you could do it at Royal Rumble, the whole back up and touching the backs, and they turn around. I'm telling you, that moment right there, the crowd gonna go wild, bro.
Yeah, man,
the crowd is gonna go wild.
Hey, bro, Tony Khan is, and seeing stuff like this makes me think, because I started to believe that okay, MJF wasn't going anywhere. Seeing stuff like this, I'm starting to believe that there may be a chance that MJF is going to leave them too. How you let this woman leave, man? Like, seriously.
I don't know, man.
if
you're looking at it from just a draw perspective, I don't see how. Yeah, it's crazy to me. Jay was able to draw people to AEW that would not watch wrestling. That's what I'm saying.
People that look like us.
Exactly.
If MJF leave, it's over. It's over.
Okay.
It's a done deal.
Venkat, Hulk Hogan said it best. He said you could make one big mistake, or you could just start making a bunch of small little mistakes. And I think that's what Tony Khan is doing. He's making. Last week I showed y'all the advanced tickets. Or did we go over the advanced tickets for their next 10 shows? Or I may have put that in the chat, but like they need a draw. Like when your ticket sales are that, every one of WWE's events is sold out till next year. Whatever.
Yeah, you said it was like 200,000, right? And we were guessing it was like 300,000-400,000, but it was like, no, I'm sorry, 2,000. 2,000. The sales of the tickets.
Well, yeah, the one that Moxley was in Moxley's hometown, because y'all thought it was like 6,000 and it was only 2,000.
Right.
And even at this Collision show, I don't know if y'all watched Collision Saturday, this building was empty. Like the building was so empty that the cheers were just going up in the air and dropping. You could see, how they black out the tops. The hard camera side was completely empty. The whole top area was completely empty. They need a star, man. They need something to draw. I don't understand what it is because everybody, it's just like everybody talks a good game. Everybody talks a good game, but they don't support them with their dollars. It's like, oh yeah, AEW is the thing to be, but they're not going to the shows. They just like to talk about them. And I don't think they're pricing people out of the shows. MD would know because he was there recently. But you said you spent you said you spent about $500. So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Then the pay-per-view model. So all right, well, we're looking forward to see what happens with Jay Cargill. So moving on, I just want to clear up a story from last week on Bryan Danielson. So Bryan Danielson got fans talking following last week's AEW Collision, where he did a promo about how he promised his 6-year-old daughter that by the time she turned 7, he would stop wrestling full time. He never said he would retire from in-ring action, but that he was looking to work a more reduced schedule. This comes from WrestlingNews.co. The announcement. Okay, so what I wanted to get to. So while speaking with Sports Illustrated, Danielson talked about wanting to wind down his career. And this is from Danielson. I don't think I'll ever reach a point where I declare I'm absolutely done, said Danielson. I want the ability to show up when I want to. Terry Funk is someone I always admired. He retired a million times, but he loved it so much he couldn't help but keep doing it. And he did it when he wanted. For me, it might be a couple of times a year, or it might be 7 years. It might be years between matches. Danielson added, in my mind, it's around August of next year for me. My daughter will say, Daddy, are you going to be done with wrestling when I turn 7? And I'll respond, well, not exactly when you turn 7, but I'll be home. I'll be on the home stretch. So he kind of clarified it that he don't want to be completely done, but he's going to wind it down. So now he's saying a couple of times a year or maybe years between matches. And my question to you guys, you can't build your cornerstone around him, can you?
I wouldn't say you can. I'll put it this way. I look at, like, this is down the line now. I look at somebody like Danielson being parallel, even though the products are different comparing WWE to AEW. But I look at Danielson possibly being somebody like Triple H in WWE. Let him have more control over what's going on show-wise, because the product that you're trying to portray, Danielson is the cornerstone of that product. I mean, everybody considered Bryan Danielson like the best wrestler on a product like AEW. So why not let him take more of a creative aspect to what you're trying to do and let him do it that way? That's what I see him doing. Now I'm not a huge Bryan Danielson fan. I'm just not, because I don't think he got the complete package.
That shocks me. That shocks me.
I mean, he a great wrestler. I ain't gonna never take that away from him, but he's not the complete. He's not complete.
Well, you know, MD, you know why I say that though, because you say Chris Benoit is your favorite wrestler.
Yeah, I don't compare Benoit to Danielson.
Oh,
Benoit.
Man, this is not where I wanted to do the sidebar at. But
Don't. You know. Okay, cool. Benoit attracted what attracted me to Benoit was the intensity. Like Daniel Bryan, he tries to do it, but it ain't Benoit like. That's for damn sure. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know, I like him. He just ain't what I think he should be. You know what I mean?
You see my maturity there, because I would have inserted a joke normally with what you just said, but I ain't gonna do it. That's interesting. Venkat, what do you think about Danielson? I want to go. He does have more. He does have another quote that I want to read, but to what MD is saying, because when I think of Danielson, I'm immediately thinking intensity of him and Benoit have that intensity.
I mean, look at the picture there. Yeah. I mean, I've always correlated Bryan Danielson with passion, intensity.
Yeah, that's why that's shocking to hear MD say that.
It's just something about. I mean, from a personality point of view, like Bryan Danielson, he come off like as a sucker to me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I ain't saying he don't go in the ring. He do.
It's you mean like outside the ring when he's like talking and whatnot? I get that.
It's just something about Bryan Danielson. I just it's not right to me. I don't know what it is.
He's a good old vegan. That's good for me.
Yeah, you never really trust a guy that's a vegan though. Like,
come on now, don't talk.
Wait a minute, you a vegan?
I was a vegan in the past.
So then the shit didn't work then.
No, it's just that you know, Oreo cookies are vegan. So, you know, just because things are vegan doesn't mean it was the best thing. So I had to go through a lot to figure out like what I need to do. So, but I still respect it, and I've learned a lot from being vegan. So it's all good.
And I want to address Ricardo real quick, because Ricardo's saying Ricardo's saying Bianca will always look better. Trev, please stop it. I don't think you heard what I said. I said I think Bianca Belair is the finest woman in wrestling. Period.
Hey, and I disagree with that. I believe if Jade stopped training the way she trained and let that fat fall the way it's supposed to be, Bianca will have a run for her money.
I got Bianca first, Naomi second. Well, Trinity, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Well, yeah. She got it where it's supposed to be at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And not for nothing, going back to Man Talk Monday from Monday, her complexion is just to die for. Like that complexion is everything.
Ain't nothing like a dark chocolate woman.
Yeah, but again, I need to see where we got that so I could clip that one. Hold on, I gotta get Danielson off the screen. 58 minutes. Let me make sure and write that down. But beyond I was watching the clip from TNA, and they still got Naomi Trinity doing ass-based offense. Like that's why you can't take her serious.
Right, yeah.
You cannot take her serious. Yeah. The whole point of her leaving WWE was to be serious, to be taken serious as a wrestler, and she's still popping on the top turnbuckle before she does a table bump. Like, come on, man, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, with the whole hip attack. Hey, but to give you pushback though, Tony Storm do the hip attack too.
Yeah, well,
everybody know they got fat ass. Everybody know.
Yeah,
I'm just replying to Ricardo. Yeah, cold turkey going in veganism, cold turkey going out veganism.
Yeah, we got to talk about that later because so you no meat, no just what, fish or just veggies?
No, that would be vegetarian if you were eating fish. Vegan products at all.
So
nothing.
You were like tofu,
no
and
milk,
like that?
no. Yeah, I stayed away from the tofu, but there were like vegan products that I could go to, or I would just eat like carbs and stuff like that, like rice and things, brown rice, quinoa, vegetables, a lot of salads, stuff like that.
I bet that was the most miserable time of your life.
No, it wasn't. It was the only misery was the lack of products. Right now, you have a lot of variety and a lot of things. There's even like some, here and there fast food place, like the Slutty Vegan. Isn't that like in Georgia, MD?
Yeah, Slutty Vegan.
Right. There's like options around, things that weren't around when I was doing it. That was like, what, 10 years ago or more?
So would you eat like an Impossible Burger or something?
I've eaten that. Yeah, and I ate stuff like that.
Let me tell you, I went to Burger King one time and got a Whopper. This is about a year or so ago, and those bastards gave me an Impossible Burger instead of my regular Whopper. And I was just like, man, you vegans y'all could kiss my behind.
No, some of them are good. Some of them are actually good.
Yeah, I
don't know about Burger King, but it's some gourmet places that make plant-based burgers that are pretty good. Like it's one place in Atlanta, Grindhouse Burgers. Like you can't tell the difference, like at all.
But to what Venkat was talking about earlier in the chat about all of the terrible food that we eat, that all that stuff that's posing as vegan is
garbage.
I was about to say
it's processed as hell.
It's worse. Yeah, like the Beyond. Yeah, Beyond Burger has all kinds of crap in it, and it's like, who is this really for?
So how could you present that to me, a red-blooded meat eater, and tell me that that's somehow healthier than me cracking open a steak every weekend?
Well, that wasn't the intention. That's for those people that are trying to wing themselves off, or that's not like real into it veganism, right? Where they'll eat salads and other things that are legit, whereas a person trying to transition into veganism, they need something that's familiar. Like, for instance, what's that? Morningstar. They make a lot of products. They have this chicken patty. Tastes really good. You pick that up at Target and whatnot. It tastes really good. But one day I looked on, I started looking at the ingredients. I started searching like what it is and what it was. Not the greatest thing, but it tasted really good. Really good. Vegan cheese is trash. Oh my God, never eat that. I've never tasted any vegan cheese that's good. It's just horrible.
Did you substitute a lot of like mushrooms and stuff, like mushroom, cauliflower?
Yeah, I like mushrooms. So things that were mushroom, cauliflower, mushroom stuff that was good. It's a big hit and miss, but they're just trying to replicate things close to what you were used to. We're talking about if you're a real deal veganism into that, you're like looking forward to a salad and other things that you can eat. You're not trying to replicate anything. You just are, and it's just different levels to it. But it's problematic when but this is America. This is capitalism, the free market, where we just do more marketing than what reality is. So you see the word vegan on there, instantly you think it's healthy. And like I said, Oreo cookies are vegan. And they have that cream in the middle. So you would think, well, that has to have some milk in it. No, it doesn't. So it's highly processed foods that's not good for you. But sometimes it tastes good, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the product, depends on the company. But it's a whole game to that.
So MD, we know who your buddies with. He's never convinced you to try any vegan food?
Man, you can't convince me of that. You cannot convince. Like I said, I have had vegan options, and a lot of them have been good. Like it's this thing called kale bone. Kale bone, it's like it's plant based rib, basically. You know what I mean? Boneless rib, and it's great. Like I ain't gonna sit here in front. Like you cannot tell the difference.
I'm gonna need you.
But like I said, I don't eat pork, so you know.
Why?
I mean,
why not?
It's just something I chose not to do a long time ago.
Oh, but it wasn't nothing. When normally when I ask a person why they don't eat pork, 9 out of 10 is religious purposes.
Nah, I just stopped. Like you know, and you know, I guess I got scared straight on looking at a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh
so
yeah, when you watch like how meat is made, the process of what is being done with chickens, pork, pigs, turkeys. I mean, the freaking calf comes out of the cow, and immediately they're artificially inseminating to get them pregnant again. And the slaughterhouses, when you see the real footage of that, so that's a smaller part. I did it mainly for health.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it wasn't as far as like humane. Like hell, you give me the gun, I'll shoot the cow in the head myself if I need to. You know what I'm saying?
You ever seen like the conveyor belt with like, because you know we eat chicken, but they don't use the male chicken. They use only female, the chicken breasts and stuff like that. So whenever there's a male chicken, they all just go on a conveyor belt and they go straight up this big crushing thing, and they just kill them right there. You just see them just get grinded up right there. It's just crazy to see that.
Well, the reason we eat female chicken is because they respond better to the hormone that the farmers give them. You know what I'm saying?
Which
it's all about
there.
the biggest chicken. Well, you know, it is like I said. Meat, you know, that's a whole different topic. I ain't gonna get into it. But the main thing is, to me, I don't care how vegan you are, what you do, you can't convince me that nutrient wise you get the sufficient amount that you need unless you grazing in the damn pasture all day like a cow. And I don't think you're doing that.
But
you know what I'm saying?
MD, when you first met me, that's what me and Blackson used to always argue about, because I was trying to tell him that just because he's a vegan doesn't mean he's healthier than me, because we're both the exact same size. Like, so
right.
how could you look at me that eats steak and chicken and fish and all that stuff and is really happy versus a guy that's my exact same size that all he does is eat grass? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, there is. I mean, the vegetarian diet, there is a way that's better with the vegetarian diet. You can't be healthy like that without some sort of vegetation or some sort of vegetable in your diet.
That's why it's called diet.
Well, who's eating meat all day long? Ain't nobody doing that.
Like you just walking around with a bag of meat.
You can go on YouTube right now and you can see who's eating meat all the time. There's a lot of people that eat meat like all the time. That's why they came up with like meatless Mondays, kind of like break it up, you know, a little bit. Yeah, meatless Mondays. You should do that all the time.
Wow.
Like, I mean, yeah, I get some people do like the red meat diet, but that's for like bodybuilders.
Think about like people, every time they sit down and eat something, there's always a meat-based product with it, right? Meat is a dessert, a snack, dinner, lunch, and breakfast. There's always meat attached to everything.
Well, yeah, I get that. You ain't gonna get an argument from me.
Yeah. And we're not really made for that. We're not really made. The body was not intended to be this way. It didn't know that you could just go down the street and get to a supermarket or go through a drive-through and have the accessibility and the frequency of that stuff in you. There is a real legit case of eating a vegetarian diet is better for you, way better. Especially like if you're trying to avoid chronic diseases and cancers and stuff, you're good.
Vancat, you would have to show me. You'd have to show me a study, and I'm not talking about it just 10 people. You'd have to show me a sustained study.
Did that.
Huh?
Yeah. They already did those kinds of studies. I'm telling
you would have to show me a sustained study where pure vegetarians, and I'm not talking about this crap that you buy in the grocery store, pure vegetarians versus a balanced meat and veggie diet that vegetarian is going to live. Okay, he lives to 100 and I lived to 99. So what?
Okay, so you know in Asia, right? In Japan, in China, they tend to not be as big as Americans, right? When you look at I ain't talking about Chinese food or Americanized food. I'm talking about the food that they eat over there.
Yeah,
It's
all they eat is
usually
veggies
it's
and
usually
rice
based
and
from
stuff like that.
veggies, and then the meat is just really a garnish or a complement to the vegetables. And they have a way longer lifespan. The population in Japan is the older people outnumber the younger people in Japan for many reasons, but they live long. They live long with less health issues. They're generally, when you see an Asian person, they're not a fat person. They're not an out of shape person. They're not a sickly person. You know, here we move furniture around here, man. So,
but Venkat, I would attribute that to America, because if you look around other cultures in the world that do eat meat, but you don't see their people like overweight like here. They're over. Okay, here everybody drives, so you don't have to walk anywhere. You have all this stuff readily available to you. We just talked about this earlier, and everything that we have readily available is cheap. You just sent us something today where for the next 4 days you can get a double cheeseburger for 1 cent.
Yeah.
So can you imagine how many men and women are going to be like, oh shit, I'm short on my rent this month, but man, I do want to eat. So let me go grab all the double cheeseburgers that I want to feed my family. Whereas in other cultures, you grow your own food and everybody shares. Right. Hey, I need some yams, I need some banana, I need some of this. You know, everybody kind of shares the stuff, versus here it's just let's run the McDonald's or let's run the KFC. Let's run me. I'm not gonna lie, as healthy as I try to be, every week I got to get some Popeye's chicken. I just have to. It is what it is.
but all meat is not the same level of quality. And I ain't talking about like quality, like, oh, the restaurants that charge $100 for a steak. And I ain't talking about that, because even that may not be grass-fed, grass-finished meat. You know, the salmon that's farmed is trash versus the salmon that's wild caught. You know, tilapia, they just have that as farm pretty much. You really don't have wild caught tilapia. And all they're doing is putting them in these areas where they're just cramped in each other. It's like a pool, and they're just pooping and they're eating each other's poop.
Have you seen them feed them? They just throw them in and like hundreds of thousands of fish just pop up.
Right. There's a different level to healthier food options. So you can eat steaks and meats and whatnot, but you got to, even like bacon, like regular bacon has nitrates and all this other crap in it. So if you buy the better bacon, like Applegate is one company that makes no nitrates. You go to Whole Foods, you go to Trader Joe's, they have no nitrates bacon, and you can eat bacon and it's not as bad as traditional butter. Butter is something that we've been correlating from since the 80s that causes heart disease and all this stuff, but butter is actually pretty good.
That's not true. Yeah, it got a lot
of butter is pretty good
if you buy the right
exactly
butter. Like Kerrygold or something like that.
Exactly, because they're out there where they don't have the same rules as America does. Where America, free open market, so they could put any chemical, they could do anything to the product, whereas they have different rules and restrictions over where they're at.
But Venkat, you know, you just killed yourself, Venkat. You just killed yourself. All these products you named, Kerrygold, Applegate Farm. I love Applegate Farm turkey bacon. But guess what? I look in that bacon section. I look at Applegate Farm's price versus I don't know, Butterball, and I'm like, do I got enough to get this Applegate Farm bacon? And that, when it comes to productivity or the means of production versus what we're doing, the less cost in means production means the less cost in price. Obviously, people gonna pick the less cost in price, especially the way we living now. Now, if you can afford to get the Kerrygold butter and the Applegate, cool. But everybody can't afford that.
No, I get that, and that's a very valid thing to say. However, what I would say is, you ever notice how when you're eating trash, when you're eating the regular everyday American diet, you always feel hungry. You're hungry because your body is asking for something. It's asking for minerals, vitamins, and whatnot that you're not getting in the trash that you eat. How many times do you look at the plate that you got and it's brown? The chicken is brown, the rice, it's either brown or white. There's no green, there's no color to it. When you eat that type of trash, you do not have the nutrients your body requires. So then maybe about an hour or so later, you're hungry again and you want to eat more and you want to eat more. But when you eat, and this is what I learned when I was vegan, when you eat greens and you eat things that are higher in nutrients, you are usually never really hungry. When you eat, I could eat something, but you're never like, oh my God, I'm starving, I'm hungry. Well, I fast, and I could fast for 3 days, 5 days, 8, 10 days straight and not be hungry. Because before I went in my fast, I was eating salads and whatnot, and I'm used to fasting now, so it's like it's very controlled. But your hunger is coming by design from the trash that we're putting in the body. It doesn't have what it needs. So you may have something in your stomach and may give you the illusion that you're full and you're whatever, but you're gonna get hungry again and you're gonna be starving because your body is lacking those nutrients. When you eat greens, you don't have to worry about that. So that will bring down the cost of your food shopping. You wouldn't need as much stuff. Get the quality stuff, the real quality, not the posed things that are stickers on the front saying this is the new healthy, low this, low that, and all this other trash, and it's garbage. Actually find out what is the right stuff and then buy those things. Buy less trash. Focus your money on the better things that are what, $3 more or $4 more. Take that hit because you're going to take a greater hit popping that pharmaceutical prescription and dealing with a chronic illness. And that's that's a disconnect with people, because we live in a society that needs instantaneous gratification. We need things now. We need that good feeling now. We don't work towards anything. But I'm trying to tell you, you eat greens, you won't be hungry. You'll understand your body better. And fast a little bit, and you'll see it's not really that outrageous.
So to your point about Chinese food, I talk to Chinese people all the time, and they tell me like this crap that you get over here is not. They take you out if you were in China trying to pass that off as Chinese food. That's what they give to us. And again, it's just like America's like the big garbage can when it comes to food. I mean, the obesity levels in this country is ridiculous. Look at our children. Most of them are, oversized, but again, I attribute it to you. Did you see the video I sent you on Instagram earlier?
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, that was a good video.
I attribute it to that, where people not making what the money that if you made $80,000 in 2015, them $80,000 went a whole hell of a lot further than those $80,000 are going now. But
not only the 80,000, but you also got the money that the CEO stole from you, that they didn't pay you what you would deserve to begin with. So those bastards have been hoarding people money forever. I see the eyes rolling, Trevor.
So what I'm saying is, though, people are having to make hard decisions between, it's hard to, like, we eat relatively healthy in this house just because I consume a lot of food and I want to make sure that what I'm eating is good stuff. So our grocery bills are high because we don't get a lot of packaged stuff. You don't see a bunch of prepackaged stuff. I mean, and we get our water in the 5-gallon jugs. Like, we go through water like it's going out of style. So we try to eat relatively healthy, but just me, the whole vegan thing, just to put a big bow on it, I think you would have to show me where, and I'm talking about that vegans live substantially longer. I'm not talking about a year, because if I die at 99 versus 100, I think I'm gonna be more mad that I couldn't make it to 100. Not necessarily that, you know, it had anything to do with the food, but you know, we're talking about 1 or 2 years. If a vegan lives longer than a meat eater by like 2 years, but they both live relatively happy lives, free of illness.
You can't live a happy life like that though.
Free of illness, then what's the issue?
Well, remember the heart issue that's been going on. That is by design from the unhealthy lifestyles that we're living, and it's all traced to food. A person that is eating vegetables,
it's traced to trans fat, Venkat.
No, it's not.
It's not traced to if a guy eats chicken, you know, like it's not. And I'm not talking about Popeyes. I'm talking about baked chicken and you know, stuff like that. Cooked rotisserie.
All foods are not the same, Trevor. It's not the same level.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So
you're saying chicken.
You're basing a diet off of. You're basing it like everybody just eats like
the food itself. You're not basing it off the way the food is worked.
You're basing it off of like everybody just eats like shit, so the vegan's gonna automatically live longer. I'm telling you that's bullcrap.
No.
Listen. My grandmother just died at 104 years old because she lives in the mountains in Jamaica where she catches her own goats and all that.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm telling you. She's not living no vegan lifestyle. It's about America. The life expectancy in America is much lower than anywhere in the because of what we're consuming. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
She lived longer because in America, the soil is depleted of nutrients. The chickens, the meats, and all this other stuff that we have, they're injected with antibiotics and hormones and all that other stuff. Over a period of time, from generation to generation, it is starting to affect. You could basically trace it for the 80s up to now. The obesity rate rising. It's rising fast.
Ricardo, I just want you to take note of exactly what I said at the beginning of the show. Me and Venkat are literally saying the same thing, but just because it's me, he's going to try to argue about it. Just remember that I told you that.
Oh Lord!
Go ahead, finish.
I'm just saying there's different levels to like, for instance, okay, so you know, when you see like chicken, right? It depends on how the chicken was handled before slaughter, right? So usually corporations have a bunch of chickens. They're all cooped and crammed and whatnot. You ever seen, like, when you look at a pack of chicken and you see like the drumstick bone is broken? Have you seen that before, or you seen like?
I may have seen it before.
Right. Well, it didn't break in the package like doing transit. That's they've been chucking that chicken full of everything, because everything has to be weighed and everything is paid by having it bigger. They want bigger chicken breasts. They want bigger pieces of meat and steak and whatnot. So they're giving chickens corn, which that's not what chickens eat, but it's used to fatten them up. Chickens are supposed to be eating little insects and stuff like that. So they're putting them on a highly inflammatory diet. So they have all this issues there. They're sticking them with antibiotics because all of them are cooped up in this one little dark area. And of course, the chicken is scared. When you're scared, even as a chicken, even as a human being, you have cortisone that is released. That's a hormone.
Shit, man.
I'm just saying, it's released. When you have a lot of abundance of cortisone, that does something to the final product of the chicken. Now, for other places that have more free range, free roaming, open areas for the chicken to live, they're not as scared. They're not as cooped up. They don't have such a bad life. So once they're slaughtered, they don't have all those issues that those other chickens. So you can look at two different chickens in a package, and one is $9.97 and one is $18. but there could be a reason for the difference, and that may be one of them. That's why I say all meats or chicken and whatnot, it depends on the way it was raised and whatnot, the way it was processed as well. So
what Vancat is describing is a utopic mindset.
Oh, Lord.
and what he doesn't understand is the way he views certain social orders within how we're supposed to live. You would have even more of a deprivation of these particular practices when it comes to farming and stuff, because let you tell it, Vancat.
Yes, sir.
The government should be providing all this stuff anyway. So what do you think is going to happen if we allow the Go ahead.
I think they should end those subsidies on bad foods like sugar and corn. And I think we should put subsidies on foods that really have real true value. I understand why the farmers decades ago, decided to do this, to make the food cheaper, faster to process, and because we have more people in the world and we need to cover more people, but that comes at a cost. Like, further, you think that it's just a steak, and for the cows to be raised, they have to take up a certain space of land. They got to take up a certain amount of water. And we have right now shortages in water in certain areas of the world, in Mexico as well. There's a shortage of water. So there's a lot of resources that have to go into it. And then we're going to turn around and do it the cheapest, crappiest way possible. And then the end result may not be to what you're liking. So all these early deaths that we're seeing, most of it is food related. A lot of these chronic illnesses come from the way we do things in food. And with the government that we have, they have passed laws, they have lobbies that have been able to do certain things for special interests that are only for the corporations and not for the regular public. Because, hey, you're just people. As we saw yesterday with that cop, it was just a regular person. They don't really care. They just want to just go ahead and make their profits at whatever expense. They're rich, so they can get access to healthcare and better food. We don't. We just got whatever we got. In New York, there's food deserts all over the goddamn place. That's why people always going to bodegas and crap. What is in a bodega? Fritos, corn chips, garbage. It's always trash. That's what I'm saying. It's like all this stuff comes at an expense, whether you want to recognize it or not. It all comes in expense. One of the things we got to do is got to make government change the way things are. Because why the hell is sugar?
There it goes.
I'm just saying. Why?
Yeah, you know it was coming. You knew it was coming.
I'm just saying it's all tied into that, man. And by the way, if we're giving subsidies to gas, oil and gas companies, why the hell are they able to just jack up the price anytime they feel like it? That don't make no sense. I think those subsidies should have an attachment of certain rules and regulations, but whatever.
Vancat, let me, and I'm done after this. I live around Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these Mexicans in my neighborhood, they have stuff in the backyard like chickens. Oh, they get stuff like that, stopping you from going to go get you a cow, going to go get you a chicken, planting you some greens in the back, and eating that. Nothing stopping. But until then, I'm gonna go to Walmart.
There you go. There you go. There you go. You know, MD, that everybody don't live in an environment where they can do that, right? They don't have a backyard because they're up on the third, fourth, fifth floor, or they just don't have.
Vancat, these chickens are walking up and down the street. Vancat, they're not in the backyard. They just out.
I'm just saying, if
I drive up and
I
say,
just,
get your damn chicken out the street.
if I just decide, hey, I'm gonna have some chickens out here, my landlord is gonna be.
That's what the Mexicans do.
Yeah, well, obviously,
every morning
they're a little bit more
I see a
gangster.
bunch of chickens just walking up and down the street, man. It's crazy.
Oh, what a hell of a sidebar.
Yeah, hey, listen. Hey, hey, you know what? That took up the time for the sidebar that I did want to do, but this was just a fantastic all the same. And all this chicken talk makes me want to eat some jerk.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Turn snack time into fun time. The great mouth-watering flavors in one convenient pack. Great taste and hard to resist. All natural flavored, mouth-watering, new great tasting. The new champion curable flavor. Eat.
Yeah, man. Take my glory when me creating myself and the Jesus.
So I will say I ain't trusting no woman that eat chicken like that. That's crazy. Man.
That seemed right up your alley, Trevor.
Nah, you talk about right off the bone. That's crazy right there. All right, well, there you have it. I'm like I tell you, there's nothing like Straight Talk Society where you could, in the middle of a wrestling show, start talking about being a vegan, talking about food, and why we shouldn't eat certain chicken. I mean, hey, you get everything over here, like I said. So with the time we have left, let's get into the main event. I'll mix the other two stories into it with this. So on Friday Night Smackdown, we had the return of the People's Champion. We had the return of the Great One. And I do want to ask MD just this one quick thing about it. But on Friday Night Smackdown, we saw the return. There was a segment with Austin Theory and Pat McAfee came out, and they were verbal barring. They were going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, you hear The Rock's music. Unannounced, totally unexpected. But The Rock has come back to SmackDown. And at the time that we saw this, that video clip of him returning had over 103 million views on it, which in itself is insane. So MD, I know why The Rock was there, because there was no build for it. You don't have The Rock come back without any build. So this is what I wanted the sidebar to be, but we really can't do it now. But real quick on it. SmackDown was in Colorado. The reason why The Rock was on SmackDown is because The Rock was in town to go to the Colorado versus Colorado State football game.
Oh my God.
That's a horrible reason, man. That's a horrible reason.
That's why he was there, because The Rock was all over game day. The Rock was all on the sideline during the game. And not for nothing, I stayed up till 2:30 Saturday night watching that football game. And I'm a Florida State fan. My game was earlier in the day. I'm a Florida State fan, and I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning to watch Colorado football. So that's why he really was there, because let's face it, if you're going to have a Rock and your ratings are going down the tube, why wouldn't you announce it? It absolutely was because The Rock, because of the Colorado football game. So what I wanted to talk to MD about, we can't go too long with this, but how has Colorado football, you let off the big old God, how has Colorado football changed the game? Did you see, and not for nothing, that game shouldn't have been that close. That was a good ass game, but they were supposed to blow that team out by like 3 touchdowns. So the fact that it went into double overtime says a lot about their terrible defense, like I told you already. But what does that say about what Coach Prime is doing, that he can get somebody like The Rock? Because The Rock was not in town for SmackDown. Why the hell would The Rock go to Colorado just for random SmackDown? The Rock was in town because he wanted to be on the sideline with Deion Sanders, because right now Deion Sanders is the hottest thing in football.
Are you saying The Rock is a clout chaser?
Hey, Hey,
that celebrities do that a lot. It don't matter how hot it is, but I will say this, and I know you ain't trying to listen. This is all all for naught. Matter of fact, come Saturday they're gonna get destroyed by Oregon. Bank that and put it in your pocket right now.
I don't think so, MD.
They're going to be destroyed by the Ducks. But
MD said it.
But to the note again, it's not some type. Football ain't for some type of feel good story on the sideline. It's about the product on the field. Now, with that aspect, it's going to take 2, maybe 3 years for him to get a team where he can actually beat something. These teams that he playing in Colorado State, even though that's a rivalry game, still, again, like you said, it shouldn't have been that close. But we looking at somebody that's trying to go up the ladder and eventually go to the NFL. And once he gets to the NFL, we all know he's not going to have the same result because he's not going to be able to put a team together, recruits like that in the NFL. So again, for me personally, I don't like it just because I'm a hater and I don't like Deion Sanders like that.
I'm glad he said
for the sense of like he don't deserve to be a head coach in the NCAA, especially D1. He don't deserve it at all.
MD, why not though? Why not?
Because he ain't did nothing to deserve to be a D1 coach. What has he done to be? What did he do to deserve to be the coach at Jackson State?
MD, who would you say is the greatest college football coach of all time?
Bear Bryant.
I'd say Bobby Bowden, but whatever. We pulling that straws there. But and that's 100% my bias. But when they came,
you said Bobby Bowden.
Yeah. When
isn't that basketball?
No, that's Florida State.
No.
Oh my goodness, Venkat.
No, but no, I'm sorry. You're right. That's Ron Simmons. Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Ron Simmons. Come on, Venkat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He played.
Yeah, he came from FSU.
Yeah, he played for Bobby Bowden.
Yeah. So I got him confused.
What I'm saying
with another coach,
because a lot of people would say Joe Pa. Hell, right now Nick Saban probably gonna go down as the greatest ever, but they had to start somewhere. Like they started when they came into their schools. Like Howard Schnellenberger, when he came in and took over the Hurricanes, that was his first job, like just shitty. But he learned the process. Deion came in at a HBCU, got them to the championship, and then it's not like he rolled off of his fame. And remember, MD, I already kicked your ass on this debate over on the arena with this whole Deion thing. So you just keep trying to open up old wounds, but it's not like he went to a school. It's not like he took over a squad like Texas A&M, because they are going to fire Jimbo Fisher, or he came in and took over LSU or something. He came in and took over a team that hadn't won a game. The last time this many people watched the Colorado Buffaloes is when Cordell Stewart was their quarterback and they went to the national championship. That team has been irrelevant forever. This guy came in and has already won 3 times the amount of games they've won in the
with
past
missing toes.
Years. Huh?
With missing toes. Keep going.
But what I'm saying is, so I get it with the hate, but in college football, where you're literally a hurt quarterback away, Georgia, I was watching that Georgia game. Georgia didn't pull away in that game to the second half.
They didn't.
So what I'm saying is Georgia is allegedly the number 1 team in the country. Florida State struggled like hell with Bobby Bowden, with Boston College, a team that they were supposed to beat by 3 touchdowns. On any given day, somebody could get hot. And Colorado right now got the quarterback. Their quarterback is hot. They have more 100-yard receivers than anybody. I've always said the defense is shit. I've said that their defense is horrendous. They can't stop anybody. But in college football, where all you need is a good quarterback and the ability to score quick, they got it. And that guy is as charismatic as you heard what happened. They sold $1.2 million worth of sunglasses in a weekend.
Wow.
Just because everybody wants to be Deion. So the fact that what I'm tripping on is the fact that The Rock is a WWE Hall of Famer. The Rock, when you think of WWE, when all said and done and the books are closed, we're gonna have The Rock and WWE gonna be synonymous. The Rock didn't care to show up on random WWE show
on WrestleMania
unless he was at Colorado, because he'd rather go to Colorado to watch Colorado State just so he could be on the sideline with Deion Sanders. And then, oh yeah, by the way, since it's down the street from where SmackDown gonna be, let me pop into the show that was made for me. Bro, this is huge. I know it ain't gonna happen, but I hope they go undefeated just to shut people like you up, the haters.
Wait, you're hoping Colorado goes undefeated?
Yes.
Yeah, but
MD, ever since I met MD like 9 or 10 months ago, he been hating on Deion.
But he kind of has a. I mean, I see MD's point though. I kind of do. I mean,
man, what position has Deion coached on any level? What position has Deion coached on any level? Pop one, hell, middle school, high school.
MD, you got the transfer portal now. You don't have to be a good coach. Like, what are you talking about?
So now, but now that means
so we're gonna put it on the transfer portal.
Is not real. It's not real. He hasn't earned anything.
What you
right? And all them poor kids that lost their athletic scholarship. Well, not lost their athletic scholarship, but lost their position on that Colorado team. All them poor kids.
They were terrible. They were terrible. They were terrible.
Trevor is cold-hearted, man. God,
they were terrible. And you and MD, you could agree. You could appreciate this as being an individualist. If you don't do your job, right, you don't deserve to keep it. And that was the point. He realized he had a team full of shit, and he got rid of it.
But it's one thing to like lose your position in the depth chart. It's another thing just to lose your position altogether, though, Trevor. Them kids had to enter the transfer portal themselves because of the amount of depth
right now.
Oh man! Oh wow!
I just want to say real quick.
Shame on you, Trevor. Shame on you.
The coach I was thinking about, the basketball coach, was Bobby Knight. So when you said Bobby Bowden, I was thinking Bobby Knight.
Mr. Choke his players.
Yeah, that guy.
So MD, you're not a fan of the transfer portal, huh?
Well, I think the transfer portal should be strictly a student decision. I don't think outside entities should be able to influence the transfer portal. No, that's just me. Because then you would have to justify essentially booster pay or money being involved, and you can't do that in NCAA. Not under those guidelines, you can't.
So so what is it? You don't like all the attention that they're getting, and meanwhile nobody's talking about #1 Georgia. Is that it?
Exactly. And everybody should be talking about #1.
There we go. Thank you.
Because Georgia is the #1 team in college football. So why wouldn't you talk about Georgia?
There we go. So
Colorado has done nothing.
Just so y'all know, I knew I was gonna pull it out of him. MD don't really care. MD dying on this hill, this alleged imaginary hill, because Deion deserves to be where he is. It ain't like he with a good team. Deion is with a crappy team that he's making better and bringing some notoriety to. You're just mad that the defending national champions, your football team, the #1 team in the country, is not. Nobody gives a damn about them.
Should Shedeur Sanders be the starting quarterback at Colorado right now?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The bum that they had there before hadn't won a game in 2 years.
So you telling me, and now this ain't Pop Warner where it's stuff going on outside. You telling me the coach's son should be the quarterback at the school?
It don't matter if he's the coach's son or not. He's a good quarterback. And isn't he the front runner for the Heisman right now?
And that's another conversation all in itself. Tell you what, like I said, we'll see come Saturday when them Ducks come in, what's gonna happen. And then we'll have this conversation a week from now.
So if they beat Oregon, what you gonna say?
It was a fluke. That's what
I was thinking. That's what I was
You
thinking.
see what I'm saying? You see
That's
what I'm
exactly
saying?
what I was thinking.
You see, I'm what I am telling you is that there's no team in college football right now that is unbeatable. I'm a Seminole fan. We're number 4 in the country. Do we deserve to be number 4? Probably not, because we got the scare of our life when Jordan Travis went down. You guys, my wife, when I saw him go down, I said, "Oh God, season's over." But luckily he came back. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Hey, but okay. So as far as with The Rock, though, you're cool if what you're saying is what it is, because I saw The Rock had some interviews and whatnot leading up, or actually a month before. I believe it was like a month before this whole thing happened. So you're thinking that this was a spur of the moment type thing? Oh, I'm going to be there for this, so I can go to this.
absolutely.
No, that he was on College Game Day the next morning.
Yeah, that's why he was there for that game.
Boy. I mean, it just looks bad. There's a guy that sent a meme out saying, I spent X amount of dollars to go to WrestleMania 39, and The Rock didn't show up. But then for a $20 SmackDown show, The Rock shows up. You know, it's like, of any time that you can get somebody like The Rock.
Why would they think The Rock was going to be at WrestleMania 39?
No, I'm just saying, if The Rock would, I mean, he's trying to say, hey, of all the times during this year that if you were ever to show up, obviously you would think, you know, a pop-up of, like when Roman won, if you would just had Rock music just hit after the rubber chicken with Cody and whatnot, and you just had a Rock's music, people would have lost their minds. He didn't have to do a damn thing. He didn't have to touch nobody. All he had to do was just raise his eyebrow and go back. And that would have been the biggest thing ever.
But what I'm saying though, Van Cat, like the whole Pat McAfee thing kind of gave it away, because Pat McAfee is on that show. Is on that College Game Day show.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was kind of a giveaway from that. But to your point, yeah, I would agree. Like, yeah, come on, like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah, just think that there would be a better thought process behind having such a. Because I mean, let's be real. The Rock doesn't have work right now.
It was spur of the moment.
He doesn't have work. There's a strike going on, so there's no work for him in the film industry to do anything. So he should, just like Cena. Cena's available.
That goes to show you it was spur of the moment. Like it had nothing to do with SmackDown. If SmackDown was in Buffalo, New York, The Rock wouldn't have been there. It's because he was on game day the next morning.
Yeah, and that's another thing, Trevor. Why in the hell is ESPN College Game Day at the Colorado game? For what?
MD, this is what I don't get with you. I don't get what I'm not understanding this.
But Trevor, to your point, you just talked about how this team has been irrelevant for so long. And magically, Dion is on.
Now they got a superstar.
But that's not what college football is about.
I kind of agree with MD. I see MD's point.
College Game Day is supposed to be for the most compelling matchup of the week. Colorado and Colorado State is not the most compelling matchup of the week. I don't give a damn about Deion Sanders. Coach the game and shut up.
It ended up being the best game of the week, though. I'll tell you that.
Man, no, it wasn't.
MD.
That's just because you saw it on TV.
MD, I hadn't watched the Colorado game since 1994 when Cordell Stewart was the quarterback. Now I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning watching a double overtime game. And it wasn't just me, by the way, because I'm getting texts 2:30 in the morning like, oh, wow, did y'all just watch that? Bro, like there's something about this team that's compelling as hell. In a few weeks, the ship may just crash into the iceberg.
It's gonna crash Saturday.
Wait a minute.
It's gonna crash Saturday.
You right now is Colorado is the top story, and that's it.
What MD is saying, the sentiment that MD is saying is similar to what Charles Barkley was saying during the past season in NBA. Why the hell are we showing the Laker games when they were like they were like 4 teams below the playoffs? They were so far out. They were like 13th or 14th place, but they were showing them on TNT and other big ESPN game matchups. Meanwhile, you have teams that are better. That don't fly though, Trevor. You gotta have some kind of integrity. We're watching a team that literally at that point was not playing for anything. And we're forcing them on TV when they have other teams that bust their ass, and they should get the spotlight. So that's why I agree with MD. I think there should be some.
Basketball is bigger than the Lakers. Like who in basketball is a bigger brand than the Lakers?
Oh Lord! All of a sudden, the Lakers is the greatest thing.
I'm asking you. Celtics would probably be the only one to rival them, correct?
Yeah. So the Chicago Bulls don't exist. The New York Knicks isn't.
They're not on the same level brand wise. Venkat, come on, man. Hey, peace, St. Louis. Yeah, y'all tune in tomorrow. St. Louis versus Stacey Mobley. Hold on, Venkat. At some point, you're gonna have some damn integrity here.
Oh Lord.
If I wouldn't give a damn if the Sacramento Kings was 72 and 10.
Then you show their games.
And the Lakers was 40 and 42. The Lakers are getting the bigger draw. It is what it is. The brand recognition. It's brand recognition.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely absurd. You're gonna show a potential worse. First of all, you're showing a team that has no stakes behind it at that time, and potential for a blowout to happen because they're not competitive. And then you have the other team that should be on TV. This happened many times where you're like,
jump on that capitalism, jump on
it. I'm just saying, I think if the best, you should always want to see the best.
The competitive, yeah.
You could always. Well, at this point, I agree with you on that one, MD. We should always see the best. You should always earn your way to a position to be the best. You should not be seeing things because it's a brand. Like, what the hell a brand got to do with anything? Literally, Wendy's is a brand selling 1 cent chicken sandwich, whatever the hell they're selling. I don't care about that.
And if McDonald's was selling them for 5 cents on the same week that Wendy's was selling them for 1 cent, McDonald's still gonna get top billing because it's the brand. They're the bigger brand, the brand recognition. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying the brand. And Deion Sanders is the hottest thing in college football right now. Okay, Venkat, think about this. We did a show on all the layoffs at ESPN.
Yep.
This Deion is driving these shows. That's all anybody talks about is Deion. I just saw something the other day where somebody was like, man, I can't wait for them to lose. I'm so sick of Deion right now. No real reason. They just mad that everybody, they just mad that everybody talking about Deion. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. If Colorado loses Saturday, then they're gonna be talking about him more because now they're gonna be like, man, how is Deion gonna rebound from this? He's just the most compelling story. Venkat, I haven't watched a Colorado game since 1994. I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning to watch a double overtime Colorado State game. Think about that. Think about how ridiculous that sounds. I'm a Florida State fan. My team had already won. Like, think about that. Think about how ridiculous that is.
It is ridiculous. I don't get. See, that's me. I've never gotten into hype or professional treatment that isn't deserved. I don't really go for that type of stuff. That's why I kind of co-sign on what MD is saying, because that would bother the hell out of me if like the best team isn't being seen and some kind of Cinderella story that's going on over here is superseding all the hard work that the other teams are doing. They should get the billing. They need to earn their way into the conversation. And these early games doesn't fly. But, I get it. Everybody wants views and whatnot. But what if that game would have been a complete blowout, like it should have been?
But it's not a Cinderella story. It's a story of somebody being pushed into a position that he didn't earn. That's just what it is.
Well, that's even more problematic.
And one last thing, and before you end off on this, I saw a report that now Colorado games are the highest selling in college football, surpassing Ohio State.
Yes, I meant to bring that up, MD. In the nosebleeds, the tickets was going for $400.
Oh, well, they're retarded. I ain't paying no damn.
Ridiculous.
Listen, MD, I live in Florida. I live in South Florida. You can get Miami Hurricanes season tickets for $99. Think about what I just said. You can get season tickets to the Hurricanes for $99. That's all the home games. One Colorado State ticket was going for $400 to $500.
That's ridiculous.
Think about, but that's Dion. That's the Dion effect. They sold $1.2 million in sunglasses. That's what I'm saying. I get it, Venkat. Venkat, I know me and you done had enough conversations. You don't like the superstars. I get it. You love the smaller guy. When you said it, I quote you. When everybody's talking Jordan and the Bulls, you're talking about Drexler and the Trailblazers. We get it. You don't like the big guy. But I'm telling you, in this country, they latch on to superstars. And
because they're a bunch of cowards and they can't do
Sanders it. And this Colorado football team is the story. Venkat, if they make it to the playoffs somehow, all their next two games, they got Oregon and they got USC. If they somehow, think about it, if they somehow get past Oregon this weekend and then they go play USC has the quarterback that is the consensus number one pick in next year's NFL draft. Can you imagine how they're going to build that up? You got the number one pick coming up in the draft, Caleb Williams versus Shedeur Sanders in a matchup of epic proportion. Oh, it writes itself. Dion been playing with house money and he has won. He won at Jackson State. He's going to win at Colorado. They won one game in the past 2 years. So he's already won 3. Can you imagine if he wins 10? They're going to build a statue for the guy. Think about it. And he got a stud. His quarterback, starting quarterback is his son, a stud.
How
is he a stud? Did he? No, I got to stop you right now. How is he a stud? How is he a stud? If he was a stud, he would be in the SEC or the ACC somewhere. Nepotism at his finest.
Oh my God!
Did he get recruited by one of the top? Did he get recruited by one of the top colleges? No, he did not.
Nepotism.
No, he did not.
Oh yeah,
he's riding the ways of his daddy. That's what he's doing.
I'm gonna tell you a name. and then I'm gonna just be quiet. Be quiet.
I want to hear this.
Jerry Rice, greatest wide receiver in NFL history. Nobody wanted him either. So
yeah, but he didn't have daddy to give him a position. Exactly. He worked his way to the top. He worked his way to the top. That's what it is.
My brother, all it takes is one draft to win to lift the wings of an eagle.
Oh my God, Trevor is just crazy, man.
That one draft is a hurricane from Deion Sanders.
MD know why I said that. That's MD line.
It just doesn't work for me, brother. It just doesn't work for me, brother. It just doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh God. All right. Well, so the Rock is back. And Venkat touched on it. I did want to touch on this, but we got a couple minutes left. The loser in this, because it looks like the Rock is coming back now. And all signs are pointing to Philadelphia next year for WrestleMania 40 against Roman Reigns, which I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all know that I was against this, but when I saw the Rock Friday and he took off his damn shirt, I was like, man, I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind seeing the 51-year-old guy mix it up with Roman, man. The Rock at 51 just looks friggin' incredible. So 2 questions, because Venkat mentioned again, love how he jumps the gun and he never even saw my notes. John Cena is back. John Cena's going to be at Saudi Blood Money. John Cena's going to work a couple of programs. He'll be back for unforeseeable future. One story that I wanted to get to, Batista is also willing to come back now, because Bobby Lashley has gone on record saying that he loved to do a program with him. So Batista
that'd be awesome.
Come back. So, but what do these three have in common? They're three superstars in the movie industry world. Right now, the movie industry is shut down. So Venkat did touch on it, but I do have it in my notes. What with the writer's strike, this time could have WWE the hottest they've ever been. You got on your roster right now potentially The Rock, Batista probably coming back, John Cena, and Randy Orton maybe coming back. You got like 4 pillars potentially coming back to work and put younger guys over. So first of all, what do you guys think about that with those guys coming back? Oh, nobody got nothing to say now, huh? Oh, because Venkat.
My bad. I was in the back
while I'm talking.
I was trying to enhance you, sir.
So with the writer's strike, I mean, this time this company has, and you got CM Punk looming in the background. So you legit have The Rock, a potential Batista, potential CM Punk. You got John Cena and Randy Orton maybe on his way back. You literally have those 5 guys at your disposal. Like what a time right now to be a WWE fan.
But WWE might fumble.
Right.
But they might fumble it.
That's why I said if they play their cards right.
It just doesn't work for me, brother.
So as far as far as the writer's strike, though, what impact is it having? I mean, we know it's having the impact, or Cena wouldn't have been back.
Yeah, I think that's something that Endeavor definitely won't. Like if Endeavor can get all them guys back, yeah, that's what they want. The problem is going to be the payload per se of what WWE can do with them within the time span. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on creative. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Triple H to do whatever it is that they plan on doing with these guys. I think it's going to be tough sledding. You know, hopefully they can do it the right way. Hopefully they can streamline it and not make it into a jumble of things with all these different guys coming back.
Venkat, what you got on that, Mr. Button Pusher?
No, I agree with MD. I'm just concerned how like you say, what a time, because they have all these highly sought after stars that they could have control of on top of the roster they already have with record breaking business at the moment. So it sounds great. A lot of things sound great with WWE on paper. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's the only thing. I'm just like, I'm cautiously optimistic.
So let's go to part 2 of that. It's going to kill Cody.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time, man.
Because now, think about it now. I would rather see Rock Roman. Unless you can get that belt off of Roman and you just have it. If you can get the belt off of Roman and the only big, what's the next big pay-per-view? Royal Rumble. So if you can get the belt off of Roman, say by Royal Rumble, and then it's Rock versus Roman, just head of the table match.
Nah, you got to have Roman as a champion still. And Roman needs to beat The Rock to make everybody feel like, oh my God, what is it going to take? And then he needs to lose. That'll be so epic right there if he does that.
And Trevor, think of it like this. Who are you going to put in a title match at WrestleMania besides Roman? Like, what you going to do? Cody LA Knight?
Cody Gunther.
So you got Gunther. So in that case.
You know that was a rumor, right? That was the rumored title match for WrestleMania 40, Cody Gunther.
So that would mean Gunther would win the Royal Rumble then, right?
Yes. I would have zero issue with that.
Oh, okay.
I would.
Gunther should have won this year.
Think about it. Think about it. You got Rock Roman on top for the head of the table because that just writes itself. Roman don't defend this belt anyway, so why the hell do a belt need to be on the line? You know the Rock's not going to win it. So Venkat always talking about predictability. There you go. The Rock is not going to walk out.
Wait a minute. Hold on, because the Rock had this same scenario before
back in 2013.
Exactly.
When he wasn't contracted to do any movies. Don't overlook.
Wait a minute. Hold on now.
Don't overlook the fact that he's 51 years old.
What does that mean? First of all, the Rock
they're not
51.
putting that title on Rock, bro.
They are not putting the title on the Rock, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the way the Rock looks, he's better than anybody else in most scenarios. His age is not an issue. The Rock could definitely win the championship. Who says that because you win the championship, you now need to be the champion for the next year or the next 6 months? He can win the championship and then drop it the next week, or he could drop it the next month. That's not the issue.
So you want to have a belt on the guy have a belt on the guy for 3 years, then transition it to a guy for a week?
I'm just saying the possibility is there. It could happen for sure.
That's terrible.
So and win it on the biggest stage, Venkat. I can't go for that.
Yeah, Venkat, come on, man.
I can't on the biggest stage of them all.
Tape machines are rolling. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
that
because
it's not.
What you saying ain't gonna happen.
We've heard this before. Anyway, what I'm saying is it's highly plausible to me that could happen. And so when The Rock goes into a WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion that Roman's going to win. I want Roman to win, but it's not. I mean, it was more obvious Cody was going to lose. That was the more obvious one. But it's not a foregone conclusion that the Rock would lose that match. And why not? I mean, The Rock is a big ass star at the end of the day. So to have him lap around with the title for a little bit, maybe promote it on night shows and whatnot, how is that a bad thing?
Venkat.
And then just have him drop it off to the next guy.
Patrick Mahomes had the WWE title. Coco Gauff had the WWE title. Everybody who wins a sports championship gets a WWE title. Them having The Rock walk around with it ain't going to help it that much more. What would help more is to know that you got WrestleMania 40 being headlined for the head of the table, The Rock versus Roman. You don't need the belt in the middle of it. You don't. The belt
I just know we just saw a head of the table match with Roman and this main event guy, and that was trash. Nobody gave a goddamn about no table or heads. Nobody cares about that. Who the hell cares about that?
That's surprising coming from you, from all the flack that you give Roman about not being on the show.
You see what I'm saying?
He's not, but nobody cares.
Not wrestling.
MD, he's so damn inconsistent. It's not even funny.
How am I inconsistent? I'm being real here. How am I inconsistent?
And of all the people, you want The Rock to get the title. Hell,
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that he's saying that The Rock against Roman, you automatically think, well, The Rock isn't going to win it. I'm saying that it is plausible that The Rock can win it. The Rock isn't one of these old dusty legends that's coming in. You know, like if you told me Steve Austin's in great shape, but if you told me Steve Austin is going to win it, I could see that. But The Rock is still in the eyes of many. And you saw what he looked like. He's ready to go. At a dime's moment, he could just go.
Venkat, you know what happened when The Rock had his last real wrestling match at WrestleMania? He didn't
show up.
He tore his pec right off the bone.
Some people get injured all the time.
Rock and John Cena, he wasn't there the Raw after.
Yeah,
that's when Brock came back.
Because remember John Cena cut that promo. He was like, and he's not going to show up. He was like, I know y'all came to see him, but he's not going to be here like that. Come on, man. And you always talk about Vince not building stars and this and that. And, they always just keep going back to the old guys and stuff like that. Now you legit want them to take the title off the guy that's had it for 3 years to put it on a guy that's going to walk around with it for a week.
You remember what I said? Roman has already beat down the entire roster for the most part. every eligible contender, Roman has slapped that ass. You have nobody in your company. It's going to take a hell of a guy to be able to match up with him to make it matter.
So
There's no contenders in WWE left.
Who takes the belt off of The Rock?
It doesn't matter. It could be Gunther, for God's sake. That would be awesome, actually. Gunther.
So why not have Gunther take the belt off of Roman?
Because aren't they both heels? Aren't they both heels? That's what I'm saying. And that would be perfect, because now you're giving back. You're giving back to an up and comer like a Gunther to have the win over The Rock. That's a hell of a deal right there. But you get the big match situation with Roman and The Rock. You also get an unexpected finish with The Rock winning. And then you get Gunther taking on The Rock. That would be amazing if that happened. But what I'm saying is, I don't really particularly want The Rock to win it, but I'm saying if they had a match, I could see it going either way. You're making it sound like it's a foregone conclusion.
It is a foregone conclusion.
It is not a
It is a foregone conclusion that The Rock is going to put his cousin over clean as a sheet in the middle of the ring. In the middle
and if The Rock wins it, it is one of those Undertaker moments.
If my
it's a George Foreman winning the title.
Pair of balls, she'll be my uncle. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
You keep saying these things, and then things happen.
It ain't good. Venkat,
tape machines are rolling.
Venkat, think about this. You can get Royal Rumble winner Gunther versus WWE champion Cody Rhodes as your night one WrestleMania main event. Then night two, they could bill it however they want. Once in a lifetime, head of the table. You could have the whole Anoa'i family come out for a passing of the torch, The Rock versus Roman. Because I'm gonna tell you, Venkat, and you know this, that match is gonna suck. You know it.
No, not with The Rock involved. I think The Rock is good enough.
Don't sit up here and act like you're not going to get wash, rinse, and repeat same Roman Reigns match that he had the past 3 pay-per-views. Don't act like you're not going to get that. You're not going to get Cody versus Roman Reigns from last year WrestleMania. Roman Reigns hadn't put on a match like that since last year. You know what you're gonna get? You know exactly what you're gonna get? You're gonna get Hulk Hogan versus the Rock from WrestleMania 18, where if you watch that match with the sound down, you'd have thought it was the worst damn match in wrestling history. But because you had the sound on and the crowd was so into it, you're going to think that is the greatest thing in the world. The Rock is a physical specimen. He's in better shape.
No.
Listen,
I got to say, like MD, I got to push back.
Hold on, man. Hold on. He's in better shape than half people half his age. He's damn sure in better shape than anybody on the AEW roster. But
what?
That does not mean weightlifting shape and being in ring shape is 2 different things.
Oh, Roman knew that from the last one when he got injured and he was sweating 1 minute into the match.
You acting like 51-year-old guy who hadn't wrestled in 10 years going to now come back in the ring and just do it.
I believe he can. I believe if there's anybody, he can do it.
And it ain't like The Rock ever was a good wrestler.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
The Rock goes through
The
Rock goes through the Rock hates.
Come on, man. He was he was 3 punches, spit in your hand, stomp, kick, people's elbow. Come on, man.
Spine buster, people's elbow.
Stop acting like we talking about some great ring technician
here. A DDT every now and again.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat could still get back in the ring at 71. The Rock at 51 ain't no ring technician. So stop acting like he gonna put on a 5-star match.
The Rock has been in many a great matches.
He might give you one of them weak sharpshooters every now and again.
Yeah. Oh God.
And he does it better. And he does it better than Sting. And he does it better than Bret Hart.
Man, get out of here, man.
Get out of here. And
I like the Rock's. I like the Rock Scorpion. I think that's great.
Oh my God!
I like it.
At some point, you gotta have some integrity. At some point, you gotta have some integrity, man. Come on, man.
I don't know what you guys were watching about The Rock. The Rock hate is ridiculous.
All this bullshit right now, Venkat. Come on.
How am I crazy right now?
You think so? You saying The Rock is a 5-star technician, huh?
I didn't say he's a 5-star technician, but
name me two good rock. Name me two rock matches that you would give at least 4 stars to. I'll wait.
He has so many great matches.
You gotta name them. All the
matches against Kurt Angle were great. Matches against Mick Foley was great. Matches. I love the match. I love the match with him and Goldberg.
Head with a chair 18 times. That one.
I mean, you just I remember
the
man's legacy.
When he was feuding, I don't know what it is about Rock, man. When he was feuding with Benoit, that crossface that he used to do, that crossface was horrible, Van Cat. Horrible.
No, it's not. You guys are hating on the Rock, man.
Yeah, I knew that Bret Hart comment would bring Bones out of the weeds. Venkat trolling us talking about Rock.
The Rock had a very good sharp. I don't like to call it. It's not a sharpshooter. I don't even know why they call it that. Scorpion. The Rock actually had a really good scorpion.
The Rock is an entertainer, Venkat.
Lord.
He's the most electrifying man in the company. Entertainment-wise.
So this guy that's been bred and raised on the wrestling business, you're trying to degrade him down because he happened to have a Hollywood career. Like, really? Really?
Hey, that shit don't work with me, brother.
Oh, you crazy as hell, man. You guys literally demean that guy's career because he happened to be doing some acting roles at the moment.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, The Rock is a wrestler through and through. He was born for this. You got to recognize that. I wasn't even watching WWE at that point, but I've seen a lot of great matches and a lot of great moments from him. Not just what he says on the mic, but what he does in that ring. And I think you guys are devaluing what he does.
So, all right, because I know when I'm being trolled. So, all right. So you have the potential Rock, Cena, probably a Batista, probably a CM Punk, and Randy Orton. Who do the guys go with? You know, you're putting Rock and Roman. I'm hearing rumors of John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I wouldn't do that one. I would have Cody win the title and face Gunther at WrestleMania, but that's just me. I would put Gunther against John Cena now, that and have him beat the living hell out of Cena. That's what I would have happen.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Definitely.
That's why I don't like it.
Can you imagine?
That's why I don't like it.
It just doesn't work for me, brother. It just doesn't work.
I can't. I don't know what else to do.
What are you saying, Trevor, man? God.
Well, there you have it. The shortest wrestling with reality ever. I don't know what else to do. I'm
just saying. You just say Gunther versus Cena. First of all, that bores the hell out of me. I felt like even that match probably never happened ever, but I felt like that's something. And that's what MD's like saying. Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, hold on, wait a minute.
I'm like, huh?
No, I was gonna say real quick. Remember, Cena has never won the Intercontinental title.
Wait a minute. He was a U.S. champion.
Yeah, but still,
you might got something.
It just seems like lazy booking. There's nothing exciting about Gunther versus Cena. I can care less about that matchup. We should be looking for matchup situations that are exciting.
You know what's lazy?
Not exciting.
You know what's lazy booking? Having five guys that's almost 50 come in and you push your young guys to the back just so you can give these guys spots.
Yeah, you pretty much buried Austin. Austin Theory pretty much got buried.
Yeah. Theory gonna be buried. LA Knight. What happens to LA Knight now? LA Knight is legit on the hottest run ever. What's gonna happen to him if one of these guys come back? I don't want him to have no consolation prize.
But, first of all, LA Knight should face The Rock at some point.
I was gonna say, how do you not have an interaction between LA Knight and The Rock, and they on the same show?
MD. That goes to show you that it was not planned. The only reason The Rock was there was because he was going to be on College Game Day the next day. Because had it been planned, then they would have had LA Knight and The Rock interact with one another. because the story was there. Had it been planned, Roman Reigns would have been there when Roman Reigns asked Jey Uso, who gave you the permission to authorize a match like this? And then The Rock would have came out. There is no planning. The only reason he came out is because he wanted to be on the sideline with Deion Sanders, because Deion Sanders is the biggest star in pop culture right now.
Not in my eyes. But whatever. The whole thing, though, is, are you saying
Y'all maybe
that
gasket, man?
No. Are you saying that right now the WWE has no plans for The Rock to do other business outside of what we just saw on SmackDown?
Not right now. If they work out, if the word comes out that he signed on to do the deal with Roman, then you'll see him start popping up. But Venkat, think about it. Let's come on. Let's think about this. You know, God bless his soul. When Bray Wyatt was coming back, they were dropping Easter eggs. If there was already a plan in place for The Rock and Roman, don't you think Roman Reigns would be coming out on TV dropping promos like, "I'm the greatest of all time," or "I'm the best in sports entertainment"? He would just start dropping little hints that will make you be like, boy, at some point, The Rock is going to show up on him. No, because Roman Reigns can't even show up on TV.
Well, that's a Roman Reigns
last
issue.
time I saw Roman Reigns. But again, you want the champion that we haven't seen in a month to defend his belt against his 51-year-old cousin. You talk about nepotism that you said you hate so much.
No, this is way different, man. This is way different.
Come on, man.
You got Roman Reigns has this 3-year run that they're trying to tell us, which is not true, but they're trying to tell us like is the most epic title run ever. And now you have one of the greatest guys from the Attitude Era that's still widely popular, still in great shape, by the way. And that would just sell itself as a match by itself. But if you can use
that comment up from Bones.
But if you could just put put aside the fact that it's going to be a match that's going to make money anyway, but use the match itself to even raise up Roman's profile more, that's even greater. So you get him to face The Rock and hopefully beat The Rock, and then he gets all that extra juice, if you will, and then he can then lose to whoever next. That'll make the next person that beats Roman Reigns even bigger, whether that be Gunther, whether that's Cody, whether that's LA Knight. I hope it's LA Knight. But, you know, it would be a star-making moment, even bigger than where they're at right now. But if Roman Reigns goes into another WrestleMania and at the end of that event, his hand is raised as a champion, especially if it's against The Rock, that's going to be a big deal. Oh boy!
I'm done. I'm
just saying, tape machines are rolling. So usually you guys need context and all this stuff. So these things are going to happen from now till WrestleMania. We'll see what happens. But the tape machines are rolling, and these reactions will be played.
All right. No.
I just hope they do the match, man. Because enough of this teasing crap. This should have happened like 2 years ago. This match should have happened 2 years ago. The Rock against Roman.
I'm just saying, man. The Rock versus Roman would have worked better when you had the complete bloodline.
That would be interesting too. Yeah. Well, they frigged up the whole bloodline thing. So, yeah, whatever. I don't even care about that no more. I just want to see the match. Just give us the match, for God's sakes.
Well, I thought tonight was fun. Yeah, Ricardo. That's what I'm telling you, Ricardo. I watch y'all shows when I'm not on it, and y'all just had these conversations, and y'all concede to one another. Y'all just whenever, even though somebody making a terrible point, y'all just concede. But when I'm saying something, it's like, oh hell no, we going to challenge this nigga here. We gonna make him get all irate. I'm telling you, I notice that every single time. It's all good though, because I'm built for that.
It just
MD,
doesn't work for me, brother.
MD, what you got in closing, man? We made perfect time. Oh no, MD. First of all, because Ricardo, I know sent me a video, but I didn't have a chance to watch it because we've been busy as hell at work. What is this Starship or Starflight game y'all keep talking about?
You must be confused, farm boy.
What the hell?
Hold on, what you say, Trev?
Oh, I said, what is this? What is this Starflight, Starship, or whatever y'all be talking about?
Oh, you talking about Starfield?
Yeah, Starfield.
Oh, Starfield. Yeah, that's the joint, man. That's what I'm on. Starfield hidden, man.
But what kind of game is it though?
It's like so it's made by Bethesda. You ever heard of like Fallout? You ever heard of that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much Fallout is what it is. It's made by the same people. So, but it's in space.
Yeah, I heard you say it was like political or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's damn so political. Is that a matter of fact? I'm doing a video tomorrow about it. It's everything we talk about, like they talk about in the game, as far as like collectivism and individualism. They actually say individualism in the game. It blew me away. It blew me away. So yeah, man, it's a real political game. Like the storyline is real political.
Is that game? Does it have a physical copy? I was looking for it today in Target, or is it just a download on the Xbox?
I don't know. You said you got an Xbox, right? You got Game Pass.
Yeah,
right?
I got an Xbox, but I wanted to buy I was looking for the actual physical game. I know it's not. It's the same crap. I just wanted that physical.
Yeah,
copy.
I like to have physical games. I spent the extra money to get the Ninja Turtle game just to get it on the physical.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got physical copies of it, but like I said, I mean, it's a hot game right now, so I don't know. Maybe it's so loud. I don't know. But I'm playing it over download. That's me. But yeah, it's a real political game, man. Like the factions in it are basically talking about politics at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I'm gonna do a video about it tomorrow.
And man, y'all make sure and subscribe to the MD20, man. Y'all subscribe to his channel so he could start putting all his content over there exclusively.
That title?
Yep.
That's my title. And you don't
even
realize
messing me up with all these damn sound clips.
And it's not even your fault, Brock.
You see what I'm saying, though?
This is my show. This is my ring. This cameraman right here, this is my cameraman. These people, these are all my people because they acknowledge me.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? let that had been Mike giving one of his stories or something. He wouldn't hit the button one time. So yeah, man. But y'all make sure and subscribe to the MD20, man. Like I said, so he could put all his stuff on his thing. Yeah, MD. I know you saw me. You may have not seen it, but I hopefully you saw me streaming Madden. I finally found out how to stream it. So
yeah, I saw that.
So whenever you're ready to go on and partake in that ass whooping, we work it out.
It's all good. And you playing 23, like you ain't playing 24, right?
No, I got 23. I didn't get 24. I didn't get 24.
All right.
Yeah, I ain't playing. I think the 24 is like $100 right now.
Yeah, that's probably like the premium edition, but I think you can get the regular for 70. I think I'm not paying 70 right now, but
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, 70, but I mean, because the rosters aren't that much different. I mean, unless you want a new draft class or whatever. But no, I'm straight now. I play 23 right now, and I simulate all my games before the football season because we got Denver Sunday. So yeah, man. But I thought I agree with Bones, man. I thought this was a great show, man. I got a lot of sound clips out of this show that I got to work on this. Well, now I'm busy this weekend, but I'll get to them as soon as I can. But yeah, man, fellas, I thought this was a really good show, man. 2.5 hours. Bomb. We were able to do it, Van Cat. I told you we could do it.
You sure? You sound very confident, sir.
Even though you tried to derail me 100 times, but
derail.
Yeah.
It's enhancement, Trevor. It's enhancement.
Yeah, we show a level of etiquette over at Tape Fist Politics.
And Venkat don't have no, over there it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do everything, we're gonna stick to the time, we're gonna do this and do this. Whatever it's me, he gonna throw every roadblock in the way to try to.
It just doesn't work for me, brother.
He just like racism. They got me with a boulder on my leg, chained to me, started me back 10 positions, and now expect me to catch up with everybody. So, all right, fellas.
We want the gold, sucker, Hulk Hogan. We coming for you, nigga. We want.
All right, man.
I'm about to check out this Grand Slam show, man. See if if they got something
hopefully
good.
it's good.
What's today? Oh shit!
Wednesday.
Oh, the Grand Slam. Oh, tonight is MJF and Samoa
Joe. Yeah.
Oh crap! Yeah. Okay, I gotta watch that. All right. Let me go and shut down. I want to watch that.
All right. Peace, y'all.
All right. Peace.
All right, Trevor. All right, MD.
All right, Venkat. Oh man, first time ever. 2.5 hours for the Wrestling with Reality show. Fantastic show tonight, fellas. We got into a lot of different conversations. I got a lot of clips that I want to pull out of this show tonight. I thought this was a great show. When am I coming to Tape Fist Politics? I ain't coming to Tape Fist Politics, so y'all could jump on me. Now I'm good. I'll stay in the chat because y'all don't want my smoke, because every time y'all let MD just run on with his craziness, I just be in the back like, damn, man. Like they just want to pull me out of retirement so I could so I could come up there and challenge him. What them brought Venkat back up here?
So I'm just saying, you talking about not coming on Tape Fist. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah, y'all good. Y'all good with there, man. Y'all doing y'all thing on there. I'll stay in the back. I'm what Suge said. I'm the EVP. I don't need to be all in the videos. I don't need to do that. I'm good.
It just doesn't work for me, brother. It just doesn't work for me, bro.
Ricardo saying they want all the smoke. Ricardo, yeah, and they'll be having some really good talking points, though. That'd be the thing. If with me though, I'd literally just come up there to throw a roadblock in between whatever you guys are saying, because for the most part I agree with a lot with what y'all saying. Me and Venkat would never agree. I really need his position like laid out to me, because to me it just feels like he doesn't think if you're a business owner that you deserve the lion's share of your profits for what you put all your blood, sweat, and tears into. I mean, that's just how it comes off to me. It sounds good that you could be giving these people all this money and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's just like anything that you create, you're the one behind it. You're the driving force behind it, and if it's gonna live and die with you. So, like, why the hell would I want to give up everything I have to people that didn't help me build it? And you could look out for people. You could give your employees livable wages. You can give your employees nice bonuses and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're not going to give them. I don't care if the CEO makes X amount times more than me. I didn't put in the groundwork. I didn't put in the money that the CEO put in. I shouldn't be making anything comparable to the CEO. But the CEO should be paying me more than a livable wage, a wage that I could live off of and have money to do other stuff. That's all I'm saying. You can't tell a guy, can you think if I started a business and I employ people and I'm paying them 6-figure salaries, and just because I'm making $1 million, they think that they deserve to make $1 million? No. I've ran businesses before, so I know what it's like as far as the taxes, and I know what it costs to run production plants and stuff like that. You can't expect you to give up all your profits to the employees. What, for them to then turn around and leave you and then go blast you and say, I don't need this job and, this and that? Come on, man. Get out of here with that, man. Yeah, so if Venkat be talking, y'all realize Venkat would do good in when I was over with MD over on the other channel, we used to always go up against these dudes that always promote black land. And their whole thing was, if I'm a doctor, the doctor and the factory worker is supposed to make the same amount of money. That was their whole talking point. This is the most ridiculous damn thing in the world. But that's literally what Venkat is saying. He's literally saying the doctor and the factory worker is supposed to make the same money, and the person who owns the company assuming all the risks, taking on all the responsibility, paying all the wages, all the taxes, got to deal with all the government regulations, supposed to not make more than them. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying I'm going overboard. I'm absolutely is what you say. I listen to you every week, and you even tried to do it tonight where you came up. See, this is how the show ended up going longer. Anyway, y'all want me and Venkat to have this conversation? Okay, we're gonna do this one Friday night when we ain't got nothing. Just gonna be me and Venkat, just me and him. And he gonna lay out, because he's saying I'm misrepresenting, even though I listen to everything he's saying, single thing that he say. And you could go on the channel and look at every time Venkat talks. Venkat thinks that we live in this utopia, and everybody's just supposed to be kumbaya, and everybody's supposed to be on the same level. And if I went to college for 4 years, I should be making the same amount of money as the person that didn't go to college. Come on, man. And then the person who I work for is supposed to overlook that and still pay us the same amount of money and pay us money that's comparable to him. Come on, man. Venkat, you know I don't run from nothing, man. Come on, man. I don't run from nothing. You know that. But I want me and you. Whereas me and you ain't got the influence of MD. You ain't got Mike to jump on your side, because you know Mike will jump on your side for everything. And that's it. It's me and you, and we'll have it out. And that's the conditions. So you agree to them conditions, then we'll do it. See, because it's easy for me to come up on the panel, and then you got MD. MD gonna believe what MD gonna believe regardless. Ricardo remain neutral, but then you got Mike that's gonna agree with everything you saying just to gang up on me. So that's, so I can't win in that situation. So it'll be just me and you. Be me and you. Accept those terms. Well, you know what? And I'll hold you to the fire. You'll have to make a PowerPoint. You'll have to make a PowerPoint presentation and prove your point. You already know I got the greatest presentation in the world. So come on, accept those terms, Venkat. I want to see if you remember this, Venkat. Venkat. Accept those terms. So fantastic show though, man. Y'all understand, man. I know Venkat since we were little kids, so this is us all the time. So me and Mike argue even more. So I'm surprised he didn't come up here to argue with me about just random anything, because my shirt's purple. But you don't negotiate with haters, see, because he don't want. And let me tell y'all something. Venkat don't want this smoke. Venkat do not want this smoke at all. Make up a PowerPoint presentation with your government that you're proposing, that you want everybody to be on this equal playing field, and I'm gonna destroy it. I'll run right through it with a fine-tooth comb. Let's do that. Until then, just you're still the man, though. Hey, you're still the man. You're still the greatest video editor around. You're still the man, but you want us to live in fantasy land, and that's not going to work. That doesn't work for me, brother. So yeah, man, that was a tremendous show tonight, man. We got in a lot of good sidebar conversations, as we always do. I love talking football with MD. Hopefully MD could join the post Dolphin game show on Sunday. We are having that show Sunday. I think I have it scheduled. I'm going to schedule it for about 4:30. I think all the 1 o'clock games should be over by then. So look for the Dolphin post game show this Sunday. It's a Dolphin post game show, but anybody could come on, regardless of what team you know. We just literally come on and everybody just chop it up about their team. So we do have a debate tomorrow night at 6:30. Brother Stacy Mobley will be taking on St. Louis, the Undisputed Truth TV. And the topic of that debate is, are there 204 books of scripture? So make sure and tune into that tomorrow night at 6:30. That's going to be a very, very interesting debate. I am very curious to see which way these two are coming, because when I hear topics like that, it makes me just want to jump in the pool and be like, man, I'll take this and this, but then I just sit back and be like, nah. But I'm very, very interested to see how this is going to turn out, what approach the two brothers going to take. And like I said, we talked it over in the back, so we are going to change the format of the debate. So tune in tomorrow. I probably go on like 15 minutes early just to give out the new format as to the way that we're going to be doing it. So make sure and the fantasy is working for under a livable wage. Venkat, I'm not talking about living under a livable wage. I want everybody. I have a saying. I want everybody to be making more money than as much money as they can make, because that's less people I have to worry about trying to rob me, trying to break into my stuff, trying to steal my cars, trying to break into my house. When everybody making money, we all win. But why do you have to go in the CEO's pocket and tell him, oh, you can't make $2 million, even though if you paying this guy $100,000? You can't tell a man how much, and that's your problem. You think that you could govern and tell everybody what they have. You think the government should be able to step in and say, no, you're making too much money. You can't eat this. You can't eat that big piece of chicken. Eat that smaller piece of chicken, because obviously you can see something was wrong with that. Maybe they want to kill themselves and they don't care. I applaud the fact that you have such a good heart and you love to see everybody succeed equally, but it does not work like that. It does not work like that. It's never worked like that since the beginning of time. It never worked like that. So that's all I'm saying. So the invitation is open for Venkat. Y'all would love to see it. Y'all know y'all would love to see me and Venkat just one-on-one. Nobody else on the panel. Just me and Venkat. Just me and Venkat. Y'all know y'all would love to see that. So y'all convince him, because he's the one that need to convince him. I don't need to convince him. If he says he's down, then we can set it up. So that's that. But make sure and tune in tomorrow night for the Straight Talk Debate Series. Brother Stacey Mobley versus St. Louis, the Truth, Undisputed Truth TV. Then we have another debate the following Thursday with Peter Cox and St. Louis, the Undisputed Truth TV. They will be debating, did the Ethiopian eunuch confess the Son of God? Then following that, Reginald Young will be taking on Peter Cox. Man, Peter Cox, this would be like 6 in a row for Peter Cox, man. It's crazy. Reginald Young against Peter Cox. And then after that, the presentation that Eddie Israel was supposed to have last Thursday, he will be doing it on the 12th, because I had to reschedule because I wasn't feeling good. Sometimes you have burnout, man. I do want to talk about that at some point, maybe fire up a straight talk after dark, just to talk about the burnout and the mental, all the stuff that doing this puts on you, like the mental overload, having to deal with everybody, having these people debate over here, and you have to constantly deal with the going back and forth with that, having to get shows set up, having to pull your notes for this show and get this stuff ready. Venkat has to make all these videos and things like that. There's a lot that goes into running this channel. You guys really don't see it. You guys just see when we hit live and be done with it. But there is a lot that goes into running this channel. It's not just coming up here running their mouth. That's why we do say that the super chats are open. If anybody feels so inclined, you're not giving me any money. Whatever money you donate to this channel goes right back into the expense of the channel, like upgrading just aspects of the channel. So there you have it. But I'm done. I'm tired. Venkat is the ball is in your court, brother. Ball's in your court. Or should I do a Terry Funk promo on you? You yellow belly slivering, conniving. I ain't gonna call you no coward or nothing, but your yellow belly. It's a jerk. Stop. Jerks. Oh, he's talking about the commercial. But yeah, so there you go. That's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the debate. One more time, let's check out my boy Mike's his boy's spot. Y'all make sure if you're in the Pembroke Pines area or if you're even down in South Florida, just take a trip down there. Support Black businesses. Until tomorrow night. Peace.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Turn snack time into fun time. The great mouth-watering flavors in one convenient pack. Great taste and hard to resist. All natural flavored, mouth-watering, new great tasting. The new champion of curable flavors. Eat.
Yeah, man. Take my glory when me creating myself and the Jesus.
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit you'll be knee deep